Hello to all of our best friends out there. Welcome to another episode of the Best Friends Podcast. On today's show, we've got comics galore. Captain America #1, Justice League #50, where we find out Joker's origin. And of course, the big one this week, DC Rebirth. Comixology goes unlimited, and E3 is in just 2 weeks, where we're going to find out about new consoles from Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox. All that and so much more on this episode of the Best Friends Podcast.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup!
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Best Friends Podcast. I'm Justin.
I'm Ben.
I am Lucky.
You sound so downtrodden.
Because I like the first.
Dior?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I noticed that
everyone
everyone says, "Hey, everybody." If you watch like YouTube videos with like reporters, like, "Hey, everybody, I think you should come up with something new."
Okay.
Like, greetings and silly humans of Earth. I don't know.
Hello, friends of the show. I don't know.
Ooh.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello,
look,
best
that's
friends.
Perfect. Best
Yeah, hello,
friends.
friends
Yeah,
of the show.
friends of the show. I like
All right,
that.
can we restart? But
No, I'd like to keep this.
No, I know. No, we're just gonna
That was
pretend
the
like
whole point of that. You ruined my banter. Good banter. You just ruined it.
I'm
just start over.
we're gonna pretend like we're
Corey,
starting
start
over.
over with your new intro.
I'm not gonna stop this recording. This recording's
okay.
real.
Just keep going.
I didn't ruin your banter.
Okay.
I'm just.
So,
we're gonna pretend
saying
like we're
Phoenix
resetting.
Friends is better too, because that's like a reference to the Super Friends from
Yeah. Greetings,
TV
friends
show.
of the show. Welcome
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the Best Friends.
I like
Podcast.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
better.
I'm Ben. Oh,
I'm Lucky.
And I'm Justin.
Hey, Justin.
What's up, Lucky?
Hey, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
hey, Lucky. Hey,
What?
guys.
We have a lot of comic books to talk about because there's some big shit going down.
I always have a lot of comic books to talk about.
I know, but we have DC and Marvel stuff to talk about.
Oh, all right. The big two.
Big time.
We got to
We're
talk
in
about the big
leagues.
two. Yeah, we got to talk about the big two.
Well,
today.
let's since this is like literally the second, like the day after everything came out, we should probably spoiler warning everything.
Oh yeah,
Everything.
spoilers.
Yeah.
You know what though? People. Okay, so like the reviewers are, like couldn't say anything, but like there were spoilers that came out before Wednesday about
Yeah.
like the Rebirth and Captain America and shit. And I think it's kind of douchey. But I mean, I get like everyone's rushing out there to get the news out there, but it's like, hey, give it a chance to buy it and read it.
Yeah, let it breathe.
Yeah.
Comic
How are
shops
we
don't
supposed-
open till like noon anyway. No one. Do you know a comic shop that opens like 8:00 in the morning?
No.
And how
Like-
are we supposed to have self-control when we
Yeah.
see that? On the
I
internet?
do. I do. Dude, I throw my phone across the room. I'm like, Jesus, a spoiler.
Sometimes I don't care. I've learned to not care. 'Cause, like,
Oh.
Yeah.
that's just
I
something-
hold nothing dear anymore.
So in
Yeah.
retrospect, if I knew everything that I know now, like in a spoiler format, it wouldn't have ruined the story for me.
Yeah.
If that,
Which
if
one?
that
Are you
makes
talking
sense.
Rebirth?
Yeah.
We're jumping right into Rebirth?
Well,
Let's jump
I'm not
into
going to
Rebirth.
jump into anything. I'm just for Rebirth, I'm just saying like if somebody would have said, "Oh, this person lives or this person comes back or this person dies," I wouldn't have said, "Oh my god, what? That's crazy." And the story for me was like better than the touchstones, I guess, the things that, you know, the big highlights,
The moments?
yeah, those big moments were great, but the story for me and how it's all woven together was so amazing. But we'll get into it. I don't know. Before, I guess let's start with Marvel, because I want to start with Captain America. I feel like we've got more DC stuff to talk about this week, and Marvel.
Yeah, but you know, but Marvel's making the big news again, just like they do with in the cinematic universe. That like every time DC does something big, Marvel swoops in, and this came from an unlikely source.
which
I
is
did
what?
not think that.
I don't know what you're
Well,
talking.
well, Captain America kind of swooped in and took all the news, and it's like
The
it's
comic
all
book.
over social media. Yeah, Captain America, the comic book.
Yeah, I don't think it took anything away from it, because I mean, for me, and
You don't care.
it's not that I don't care. No, well, I don't. I don't. Next week is
It's not
Civil
that I
War
don't care.
2.
Well, I don't care. But anyway,
Next week is Civil War 2. That's the big deal, right? For Marvel.
Yeah, that's supposed to be. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's kind of supposed to be the competing Rebirth.
Yeah, but
And
it's every summer. There's always a big event every
Big
summer.
summer event.
Yeah, last week,
right.
last
And
year.
then, so I just wasn't expecting everyone to be talking about Captain America.
Is it good stuff?
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't read it. I didn't read
No,
Captain
it's
America.
just big stuff. It's people are not happy, but
Yeah, so what you're saying about taking the news, I don't think that they did it in a good way. So you guys read it. Why don't you guys start with Captain America, and you can spoil it for me, but for those out there that haven't read Captain America #1, and pretty much any other big comic books like Justice League 50 and DC Rebirth this week, you should probably jump to the end of the show or something, or because we're going to talk about E3 upcoming in a couple weeks, and all the different console news, speculation, and things like that, and Comixology Unlimited. So that'll probably be later in the show. But for now, everything's going to be spoilers, and I want you guys to spoil Captain America #1 for me. Another #1.
I know. Before we start, can I just say, in like the last 4 years, I feel like I bought like 6 Captain America #1 books. Like, I'm not joking, like either. So I got like the Sam Wilson ones, this one. He's in like another dimension. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, so I've never bought Captain America. Just the issues. This is like my first Captain America
I've bought
title
him,
I ever bought.
Like, I really got into when they killed him. And I was like, "Oh, come on!" And so then it made me read it. So maybe this makes people read it because I at the time was like, "What the fuck are they doing?" It's like, "Why'd they kill him?" And then like, no, now with this spoiler, maybe I'm like, "Oh, they just do is make me buy the book, whatever." But
yeah, I would always buy just Avengers, and I would read him there. Kind of became a fan through Avengers rather than his titles. But yeah, you want to get into it?
We just say it like so.
Well, let's. I think we should build it up a little bit.
No,
because they do a flashback. It starts off with a flashback.
So the flashback is his mom Sarah. It's like what, the 1920s. She has an abusive husband. He's like an alcoholic, and then so he's on the street about to beat her up again, and then this nice lady comes and stops him, and she uses some like Black Widow moves to it was
definitely like a Black Widow program
too. Yeah. So this story is intercut with him fighting crime today, but anyway, yada yada yada. She's like, "Hey, here's my card," and she is a member of Hydra, and so I think they're framing. So this is a 1920s version of Hydra, and so like at this time, I guess it's like Scientology. They're just like a secret betterment organization or something. And so apparently his mom gets into the cult of hydrauligy.
And this is
hydraulics.
This is Steve Rogers' mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Steve Rogers is like 6 or something at this point.
Okay.
But even this lady's like, "Oh, your boy's going to go on to do great things for some reason. We will watch his career with great interest." Did you catch that, Justin? No, you didn't. You're too slow.
I'm sorry.
It's from Phantom Menace. Come on, man.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Mace
okay.
Windu says it, right?
No.
Who says
No. Emperor Palpatine.
Oh. Well,
Senator.
That makes sense.
I'm sorry. I was flipping through Rebirth just now. You caught me
Sure you were.
adrift.
So, cut to
Then it flat. Yeah.
Captain America, newly restored his part. He was like a 90-year-old man before. He was just kind of like the tactical, strategic advisor to S.H.I.E.L.D., just directing stuff from the S.H.I.E.L.D. carrier as an old man. And for some reason, Sharon Carter was old too. So then he gets his powers back, I think, like with some kind of cosmic cube. And so now he's back. New uniform, new shield, because he passed on, when he became an old man, he passed on the old shield to Sam Wilson. Is it Sam Wilson? The Falcon. So he gave him the shield, so he's running around as Captain America, leading the Avengers and stuff. And so now he's back to being young, and so he gets a new shield, splits in half, and does weird stuff. He's running around as Captain America, and he gets these two sidekicks. I guess they're from his past. I don't remember the name. They're not that important. They look generic.
It's Jack Flag and Free Spirit.
Yeah, Jack Flag.
You'll remember them from pictures that you've seen once or twice before.
Yeah, probably from the 80s or 70s. They were random sidekicks for him. Or
Yeah,
something.
I was thinking like 60 or 70s. Probably they were probably introduced around like the Easy Rider time.
Throwaway characters. So
Yeah.
Easy Rider.
Mm.
Which, by the way, Easy Rider is the Captain America Harley Davidson in that. Anyway,
Oh, no shit.
so so they're helping him fight. Is it Hydra? It is Hydra, right? Yeah. And so
Right, yeah.
so he tells them not to follow them because he jumps on an airplane with like Baron Zemo and some scientists. They're trying to get away. So Cap catches up to them.
There's a shield scientist that Baron Zemo stole.
Oh, that's who it was?
Kidnapped.
Shield scientist?
Yeah.
Cap uses his new shield to bore through the ship, and he climbs aboard, and then he's fighting Baron Zemo, and then what is he getting beat up, Ben? Or
I think he's already defeated he's getting beat up. No,
Yeah.
he's hanging out of the airplane.
yeah, that's right.
And Baron
So
Zemo's
Rick Flag comes to rescue
Jack Flag.
Jack Flag.
But yeah.
Rick Flag's from DC. Sorry.
Yeah.
So Jack
It's a
Flag.
crossover issue.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
So, and then he's like, I told you not to rescue me. And then he's like, huh? And then Cap grabs him and throws him out the airplane. And I don't think he has any flying powers. He had like a hoverboard earlier, but he didn't have it.
Captain America has a hoverboard?
No,
No, Jack Flag.
Jack Flag. And then,
Some guy.
universe crossover. So then he throws him out, and like the next shot is him standing over the scientist, and he's like, "Hail Hydra!"
Yeah.
End scene.
End scene. End book.
End book.
Captain America says
And
Hail Hydra.
pull list. Or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Now-
I mean, I guess just sum it up for me. Did you like that?
I think that they're probably, like I told Lucky, I'm going to treat this as a what if. If he really is
Oh, yeah.
Hydra, I'll treat it
I
as
like
a what
it as
if.
a what if. I like it as a what if.
Like an
I don't-
alternate universe, alternate
Yeah.
reality kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
So
I think
what
that
if is
they're
like
going
the
to-
Elseworlds of Marvel comics, Justin? If you don't. If you
Yeah.
wanna-
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'll probably. I don't think that he's going to be Hydra. I don't think it's like. I think he's got something up his sleeve. I don't know, but
Well, so like the writer and the Marvel editor in charge of this were like, nope, that's him. It's not a clone. It's not a life decoy. Whatever. So they've confirmed this is Cap, and he's always been a Hydra agent.
yeah, I
So-
think. Oh, well, see, man, I think he's going to double cross Hydra or something. But what's he's got a new outfit, and it looks very like he's got that star that looks. It doesn't look Captain America-ish. It looks like Winter Soldier star now, which is kind of telling, I guess. So it's like they didn't want. I don't know. I feel like it was like a pussy move. I mean, like number one, I guess Sam Wilson's kind of rocking the Captain America. He's got the shield and everything like that. But they gave him this new outfit just so they can be like, so don't hate the old one, just hate this new one that we drew, and this will be the image that you cannot
Well,
like.
Sam Wilson isn't wearing like his old uniform either.
No, but doesn't he have? Isn't that why he's got his old shield, right?
It's the same shield, but he's got his own uniform and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Captain America seems to have a different shield in this. Is that right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it has
and he's
like
got-
a cutting edge, and it splits in half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like the point, it's like his original shield when he's
Right.
punching Hitler. It's like a shield-shaped shield. It's not
Right.
a circle, like a triangle at the end.
A shield.
A shield.
shaped
So-
shield.
So everybody online and on every social media, they're all pissed about it. And I guess Nick Spencer's getting death threats and everything. Lucky you shared
Yeah.
that article. And
That's crazy.
everyone's upset. But the thing is like, if you read the article, it's or the comic book, it's really well written, and it's this. It's got meanwhile back at the ranch all over the place with flashbacks and cutting to him fighting on the train, cutting to he's trying to get to the head of the train where a guy's got a suicide vest on, and they're going to drive it into Penn Station and blow it up. And then they're cutting to that guy's life and how he was led there.
Yeah,
and they show
so-
that he was led there by Red Skull, who's in America now, and like so he's not like this Nazi Hydra guy. He's in America, and he's like I don't know. He's kind of a
Well, he is still like
xenophobic-
a neo-Nazi thing, but like I think what
Yeah.
they're doing is showing like the other sides of Hydra, and like so like with this guy, him becoming a bomb, they're quite literally like portraying him kind of like Al Qaeda or ISIS
Al
or something.
Qaeda. And Marvel,
Just like,
Marvel always
poor
does
guy.
that. They're always, you know what I mean? They're always kind of reflecting what's going on in the real world. Hello?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
a lot of comic companies do that though. I mean, DC had Superman fighting Muhammad Ali when, you know.
when it was okay to punch black people.
even starting with Captain America back in the Stan Lee days, he was fighting Hitler back
Right.
then, and
Sure.
and now he's fighting, or I guess he is. I don't know. It's a reflection of like who do you trust? Like right now in this country, we're kind of like who do we trust?
Right.
Like
I think,
even
like-
wherever you stand, you don't know who you're voting for. Not to get real political here, but you're like, well, this is my party, but I don't like who they've got up there. And so now we have Captain America in that role. Like I like Captain America, but
So Hail
now
Hydra, and you're
You
saying
might
Red
have
Skull's an
something there
American?
what you said, like it maybe do with the leadership of Hydra, because I was reading something else. It's like, oh, maybe there's like splintered factions of Hydra, and like,
Yeah, like Hydra's
Yeah.
good guys.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
they're like, so there's like a lot of stuff that like it goes back, like Hydra's, if you trace it back before the Nazis took hold of it, goes back to feudal Japan, and then they're like before even that, it goes back to an alien race that tried to take over the Earth, and then like people started like following and worshiping them. So if Marvel's like cutting deep into Hydra history, maybe that's why it'll be less consequential that Cap is a member of Hydra, and like maybe he's this old Hydra sect before it became Nazis and stuff. That's the Hydra he was part of or something.
Ah,
So
see, they'll
so
retcon
that's
it
why
somehow.
I'm interested in it. And so basically, it's more like, I guess I'll buy the books just so I'll give them at least 3 or 4 issues to find out where they go with it. And I think everyone else is too, because if buyership starts dropping, they're gonna either
Well,
change the writing.
yeah, and it's
But
probably one of those things that's done as like a sales piece where it's issue 1, so you're going to get a lot of buyers that are like, oh, it's a good jump on point. I'm going to buy issue number 1, and that's why we know that Marvel and DC love to renumber stuff and start off with a new number 1, and then you end it on a controversial cliffhanger. Well, now everybody who bought issue 1 has to buy issue 2 to find out, oh my gosh, is this true?
Yeah,
what
they better
does all
sort
this mean?
out. Yeah.
So
I'm interested in it, but like here's why it made me angry initially was that he was so good in Civil War 2, and I feel like the movies have captured the characterization of Captain America like better than the comics right now. So like if you watch the whole Captain America trilogy, you get the story of him, and just like the one scene where he's always just had this indomitable spirit, and that's kind of his superpower rather than like getting all the powers from the super soldier serum. Because like in the movies, you have him as a kid, he's getting beat up when he's just the skinny guy, and he's like, I could do this all day.
Yeah.
And then cut to Civil War, he's doing the same thing with the powers, and so
Right.
you're like that's kind of the cool thing about Captain America. And also like he split off from the Avengers or from Iron Man to do what he thought was right, and so like you're like, oh, that's great Cap. His strength is his integrity and willpower and stuff. And so then now they do this and like undercuts the movies and stuff. You're like, no, he was the Hydra agent the whole time. And so like,
Yeah.
hopefully,
Did you see,
I hope they look at them as different Caps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hope it's not Hydra in.
Oh
the
God,
movie.
I imagine that the comic and the Marvel Cinematic Universe are not at all the same,
Yeah.
and you have to treat them as totally different things. Because Jesus, the continuity would
Yeah,
be
you-
awfully tangled.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
Television,
couldn't do that in a movie.
Netflix, movies, comic books. Yeah.
Plus, I wonder
Did
if
you
like
see,
Disney was like freaking out, like, hey, wait a sec, you didn't tell us you were gonna do that. Like, what are we gonna do? That's gonna confuse people. Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Did you see Chris Evans tweeted Hydra hashtag
Yeah.
say it isn't so? He got like a shitload of retweets on
That's
that.
funny.
Everyone was, yeah. So it's kind of cool to hear Captain America say, "I also don't agree with this." It's like, yes, thank you, Chris Evans.
It'd just be like, yeah, you're in Hydra. And I was like, what? I can't work this into the character. Come on.
My favorite thing is everyone's making memes out of that last shot where he says "Hail Hydra." And
Did you make
they're
that
like,
one, or did you find it?
yeah,
Him
I
with
made that one, but it was inspired by all the ones I saw. There was a hell of a lot more funnier ones, but I just had a good time reading through them. I'd look for them now and start reading them off, but that'll take a second.
So
what I wanted to do was like draw a Cap, but give him a goatee and then just have him doing evil things like parking a handicap spot. Like,
Hail Hydra.
cats. Yeah.
Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra. And, like
Every time he does it.
Kids and he's just like, Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
He's got a clear black mustache and goatee. So you know who the evil one is.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
And you know what's funny is that's kind of what I was trying to get at with his new suit is like they want you to understand that he's evil. You know what I mean? Because it's just like
The suit looks inherently evil. I kind of like.
No, it doesn't. I like it too. I think the design's really cool. I just think that the star, everything's a little bit more muted. He's not as like blatantly red, white, and blue. You know, so it's kind of, I don't know. It's just kind of like, yeah, this is the evil twin. Like they basically just didn't draw a mustache.
You didn't even say like he's missing his little wings too. Is that what makes?
Oh yeah,
he doesn't have the
Yeah.
wing more on his helmet.
I kind of like that.
I thought the wings were goofy, but I like how they did it in the movie where it's a graphic that looks
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
attached to the side.
better.
Yeah,
like,
that's what
having
they had on.
sticking to the head of.
That's how Bryant Hitch drew him in the Ultimates. Kind of
Yeah,
heavily influenced by that.
yeah. I think that's a great design. The Ultimates version of him.
Yeah, that's one of the like when I was like, whoa, I really like Captain America. He's like cool now. He's not as goofy with the wings and whatnot and the scales. They took the chainmail, I guess it would be. Looks like scales though.
Yeah, that's weird that they're like it's chainmail, but like it always looked like scales. And then
Yeah.
when John Cassaday drew him, it was clearly scales. But I guess
Yeah,
he had his own idea.
like thick scales that you can see raised up and like layered like shingles.
like scale mail as opposed to chainmail.
Yeah, like Aquaman would have.
Yeah, similar to Aquaman.
If I was an artist, I would never put that much intricacy into my work. 'Cause it's like every time you draw Captain America, you have to put scales on him.
10 minutes of scale drawing.
Yeah. That's where like you got like some like JV level artist and you're like, "Hey, I did the main work. Just come and put scales on all these panels for me."
Yeah,
'Cause
just have the inker
Artist
do it.
assistant. Yeah.
yeah, my
You pay him $5 a page to finish, but never recognize him in the book.
right. He's just some guy.
I need a ghost scaler.
Can we talk about DC now?
Yeah, Justin. Do you don't have any thoughts on Captain America before we move on?
No, I mean I think it's it's one of those things. It's to sell comic books. I think a controversial ending and things like that. And like I said,
Mouse
it's
behind this one.
yeah, it's a number one, and everybody's got to buy the number one, and then they ended on some controversial cliffhanger. Not that like DC's never done it, and not that like a million other comic books and movies and TV shows don't do this. I just think that's cheap. Like, because ultimately we're gonna find out that it was probably nothing, and it's not a big deal.
That's what's gonna happen. It's just not gonna be a big deal.
Speaking of it ultimately being nothing, we can transition to DC for a minute.
Can I just say something real quick though? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny. I've read like more than one article being that Joel. Who are the guys that created him?
Superman?
Schuster.
Siegel.
No, Siegel. No, Captain America.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, Kirby and Stan Lee.
yeah.
Jack. Well, no, not Stan Lee. He wasn't the original creator of Captain
Oh.
America.
Wasn't it Kirby though?
Kirby drew him. Let me look it up real quick. I sound real
Hey.
stupid. I don't even know who created Captain America.
Processing.
Joe Simon.
and Jack Kirby. So I've read more than one articles that are like, those guys were Jewish. Now making Cap Hydra. It's like making him a Nazi. And they're like, Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, like, you're going in the grave now. Like, they've just ruined it. And, like, I'm a Jew, and I like Captain America, and this just, like, shits on all the work they put in. And, like, I just thought it was funny, like, that outrage and stuff. Like, I'm sure the writers weren't like, yeah, let's show those Jews we'll fuck with their creation. Like, I don't know.
First you made
yeah.
our God Jesus. Now you're
Yeah.
changing our.
Just like everyone gets mad at it pertaining them, and I guess maybe rightfully so for you, but it's just like, come on, man. Like, anyway. Jews own Disney, so I'm sure they weren't like...
They're running Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I'll never work there, so...
Yeah, great lucky. Now you're out of a job.
No.
So anyway, that was a little bit ridiculous, a little bit of a stretch, but yeah.
You're gonna clearly see you're not Jewish at the job interview.
Yeah. Like,
Well, yeah.
he can't be. He's not an OG
Is he
Jew.
one of the lost tribes? Well, we didn't lose it that far. No.
One of the lost tribes.
All right, so
Okay, we can talk about
yeah. All right, so do you guys want to
All
start with Justice League 50?
Yeah, might as well do it in order, huh?
Yeah, and so Justice League 50 was part 10 of the Dark Side War.
Now, you read part 1 through 9 of it, right, Justin?
No, I didn't.
Me neither.
Yeah. So,
And you'd fill us in, so you're just as confused as the rest of us.
yeah. No, I mean, we all know the details.
Well, okay, wait, real
Darkseid
quick.
gets
What-
killed.
Are the only new 52 books you read is just Batman, then? Is the only one you've been keeping up with?
Well, no, I mean, at various points, I read a lot of Justice League. I read, obviously Batman, all the Justice League stuff. I read Wonder Woman. I read Aquaman. I read a lot of it, honestly, for a while there. And then probably, I don't know, in the 30s, I started falling off of a few books and just kind of keeping up with others. But
When did this, 3 years ago, was the new 52?
no, 5.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah, 2011, that new 52's been going on.
God, that's old. I
And
feel
it's
like
now-
you told me about it
That's
yesterday.
long, yeah. I feel like it was like 2 years ago, but like that's...
Yeah.
wow.
It is a long time. And I don't know. We'll get into Rebirth, but obviously they made it pretty obvious that New 52 continuity is still part of, still part of the continuity, but it's not, it's kind of thrown out like, hey, we kind of made a boo-boo and we're sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's still the lore, but now they're
Well, yeah, it's kind of like in Rebirth, they kind of pick and choose which ones to keep and which ones not to keep.
So
But before that, Justice League.
To bring you up to speed, again, total spoilers here. I'm just going to summarize Justice League 50, but basically they kill Owlman.
Who's from the evil Justice League, right?
Earth
Or
2.
what are they
Yeah.
called? The Society of Criminals or something?
Um,
And there's like
The Society.
Ultraman, Superman,
yeah.
Owlman,
Right.
Wicked Woman. I don't know. I just made that up.
That's
I
not...
don't know. Evil Wonder Woman.
Yeah. And Darkseid's killed, but then reborn. So that was interesting. So obviously he's still around.
So he's a Christ-like character in this.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I think the big thing in that book was the Joker origin, right? And Batman sits on the Mobius chair and he asks the question.
Well, explain the Mobius chair for people.
So the
don't understand.
Mobius chair has all
One
of the
New
information.
God's chairs, right?
Yeah, you have to be a supremely powerful being to even be able to sit on the chair. And so Batman is, and he ultimately becomes the god of knowledge, which is revealed in this book. And the Mobius chair contains all of the knowledge in the universe. And so Batman tests, I think in Justice League 42 or something like that, Batman asks the chair, who killed my parents? And the chair says Joe Chill. And that's canon for, the comic books of DC, that Joe Chill was the murderer of the Wayne
When was that
parents.
not canon? Did they change that?
Jack
some point?
Jack Napier killed
Oh,
him.
okay. That's just
So-
the movie, though.
Yeah, that's why
But
I'm
they
just...
didn't do it in the comics,
Right.
did they?
No. And that's
All
why
right.
I'm just clarifying on the comic side of things.
Cool.
It's always been Joe Chill.
Okay.
Batman asks a simple question that probably, only a few people would know the answer to, but he knows that to be true himself and kind of confirms that the chair knows that. And then he asks the chair, what's the true identity of the Joker? And then, you don't see the response, or you don't hear the response from the chair, but then Batman says that's
Give
impossible.
the people a spoiler alert first.
The spoilers. Well, this is in 42. There's no spoilers yet.
Oh,
because he
okay.
says Batman says that's impossible. So now it's absolute spoilers. In Justice League 50, spoilers, Joker's identity is that he is three people. Or there's three different...
Now, I bought this because of you when you told me to buy it because we'd find out who the Joker was. So I'm mad at DC and you, Justin.
Well, this does answer something, though. You do get an answer.
Do we?
Yeah, it's an answer.
Yeah.
It's not a great...
No, this is my theory. Or I guess I guess it is a theory.
Okay, so...
go ahead.
Just hold on that for 1 second. So, it's revealed that the Joker is three different people, and I believe on the panel, I don't have the book in front of me, but the panel that they show that the Joker's three different people. Well, actually, the way they reveal it is that Green Lantern's talking to Batman in the Batcave, and Batman's got the all of his monitors up and stuff, and he's like, oh, what did the chair say about the Joker's identity? And Batman's like, it says that it was three people, which it was kind of funny to me. It was almost like Batman was like rummaging through stuff and trying to do stuff while Green Lantern's talking to him. He's like, I don't know. It said something about three people. But they showed
slow you down here for a second. Can I slow you down a bit?
No.
Oh. Because I read that, and then I read that, and then I read Rebirth. Was some of that revealed in Rebirth?
No.
Or
no.
am I okay. Well, because
you just derailed it again.
No, you were talking about the three pictures, or you were about to mention the three.
Yeah,
pictures
and they show the Red Hood.
Was that in JL 50?
No, yeah, that was in Justice League, and and they show I don't know, on the screen there, like in the Batcave, you see the Red Hood costume, which was like Joker's identity from The Killing Joke, and which is widely believed to be the original origin story of the Joker. The other image that you see is, I think, the Joker card or something like that, which is like even before that, like the Neil Adams stuff from like the 60s and 70s. And then, probably even actually back to Bill Finger, who originally created the Joker, like way back. And then the third image is like the more current, recent Joker that Greg Capullo drew.
Actually,
and they also show. Remember?
I was going to say Ben was Ben was right. He's in Rebirth. He's looking at the monitor, and there's like 6 different versions of Joker from.
Oh, that is in.
That's
Rebirth?
what I thought. Yeah, and then one of them is where he's holding his camera from Killing Joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it.
So should I while you're looking?
Go ahead.
I'll tell you my theory.
Oh yeah.
Since he's showing, there was at the end of Killing Joke, there was like a big controversy of what happened at the end, and it's never been revealed. And the writer was like, "I'll reveal it now." ... Well, everyone was saying either I believe that Batman did not kill the Joker, and everyone's like, "Well, it's called The Killing Joke." And if he did kill the Joker and was still fighting the Joker afterwards, he would have known at that point that there's at least more than one Joker, and it was revealed to him by the chair that there was 3, and he would know that. If he had killed him at the end of Killing Joke. Okay. So what this reveals to us is that he does not kill him. We finally get that answer at the end.
I can buy that.
That's a solid hypothesis.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you.
That is a good
Thanks,
one.
Thanks, guys.
So Batman does not kill the Joker.
No.
In The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
In The Killing Joke, at least.
You're like the anti-Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
You're saving villains.
What if he didn't kill him, but he didn't have to save Joker? Discuss.
So
you don't have to discuss that.
So I'm looking at the panel you guys are talking about from Rebirth, and yeah, they kind of show the Joker of the 50s and 60s on the left panel, and then the Joker of like the 80s. And
what if they just had the actual photo of the Joker from the Batman show? Wouldn't that have freaked you out?
It's almost like that. It's almost like the Cesar Romero Joker. Yeah. And then the final one being the recent Joker. So I'll just say this. I think then that the theory that, was hypothesized, not originally by me, but reiterated by me on a previous podcast, is that Jason Todd as being the Joker is totally in play. He could certainly be one of the 3 of them. The modern
The Killing Joke Joker?
Yeah, the Killing Joke Joker. The modern Joker from like Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder. There was a story. So sometimes, like in the epilogue, you'll get like a small 4-page short little story that's in several arcs, and I really can't recall this off the top of my head. I probably should have done some research, but it's all these people in a cabin in the woods kind of thing, and they discover the Joker. And long story short, because I don't remember all the details, I read this so many years ago, they basically revealed that the identity of the Joker was he's Satan. And yeah, it's crazy. It's a super, it's not totally canon. It's one of those things. And I can't remember how the story went in finality, but that was basically what it was that the Joker, is basically Satan, which was crazy. But that's kind of like the current Joker. And that's what they show in the panel, with Rebirth, is they show the Joker just with flames behind him, which totally is, iconic of
satanic.
Of Satan, right? So,
so it's like a possession type deal.
Yeah,
perhaps.
And what Batman says in Justice League 50 is, Green Lantern's like, there's 3 Jokers and whatever, and Batman's like, I don't know, but I'm gonna find out. So I don't know.
What I don't get is, why didn't he just ask the chair, who are they? Because it's not like we got like a genie in the lamp thing going on here, and like he can't wish for more answers, so like, he just gets that one, and he's just like, all right, and he just keeps on sitting in the chair. So what other information you have, not pertaining to Joker particularly?
Okay, he's too busy being shocked.
Yeah. There's 3? What?
No further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah. Defense rests its case. I'm going to have to go investigate this. Let me sit on this chair and think about who the 3 Jokers could be. Joker the first.
He uses the Mobius chair in his bat cave to type on his computer to Google some shit.
Google, do you know who the Jokers are? Wish I had some sort of share device I could ask.
That's funny.
Do they explain that or not? Like, couldn't he have just asked that?
No. They don't.
It's probably because I didn't read that issue where he asks it, but then shit like goes down. So like he's flying around in his chair during a battle. He's not helping or fighting or anything.
He's just
like trying to
questions
and knowing stuff.
Yeah, he's just knowing things. He's like, Darkseid dies. He's like, I knew it. He's just over there. Just over there being a hipster.
He says spoiler alert before every sentence. Spoiler alert.
The spoiler chair.
Might help you guys out. Just saying.
That's awesome.
But I thought that issue was like so rapid fire. Like every panel that my eyes would move to, it was like I had to reorient myself. Like
Justice League.
Yeah, JL50. Yeah, it was like kind of crazy. Like number 1, it was the first I read number 10 of 10, and it was the only one I read, so I was very confused, like trying to figure out who everybody was.
Well, that's part of it. And like even back to, I think I talked about when I read the Civil War comic book, there were times where characters were introduced where I'm like, who the hell is that?
And
but I'm like, don't worry about it, Justin. It's probably Marvel canon. Just roll with it and keep reading.
Yep, that's exactly what I was doing.
Right. And so jumping in and, who's this person? Like, who's Steve Trevor? If you've never read a lot of Wonder Woman books, you're like, I have no idea.
Yeah, but Steve the guy in the movie is going to be him, right?
Chris Pine, yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand, like, Darkseid's daughter, Gina. What the hell is her name? Grace?
No.
Gina.
Great.
No.
Gina.
No, it's not. It's
Gyno.
Damn it.
Grail.
Grail. That's it.
Right.
Yes.
You don't begin with
like,
G.
Yeah. It was close with Gyno. But I was like trying to understand like whose side she was on, and I guess she was like slowly going power hungry.
Right.
Like, I kind of picked up on that, but
Scott Free was?
Nope.
Oh. Well,
is that
the new gods. So that's
Did
why
he get away?
Big Barda, I think he got away, and the Chair and Darkseid are all pertaining to like the new gods. Where do
Yeah,
they
I
live?
thought that was
Acropolis?
Apocalypse.
Yeah, Apocalypse.
Oh yeah, Apocalypse.
Yeah. I thought it was cool. And like Lex Luthor was a goodish guy, and he becomes
He becomes Superman.
Has he been on the Justice League or something? Because there's like they were in cahoots before this.
Yeah, so
Superman.
that's part of the New 52 stuff. Again,
They're
I'm
frat-
not super caught up on,
Nice
so
pun there.
I'm not even. Yeah, no. I really emphasize super.
Pun! We never made a pun sound.
yeah, we gotta get on that.
I like that one. Yeah, so just Lex Luthor has a super suit that enables him to have basically all the powers of Superman.
Is that where all his powers come from? Just from the suit? Because before that, he was a god. Now he gets the god powers, and he got the suit
It's from
powers.
the suit. Yeah, he uses the Slaves of Apocalypse to build him the super suit.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Darkseid enslaves everybody and makes them powerless, and that's ultimately how he rules, and ultimately is trying to take over the entire universe. And so, as the Slaves of Apocalypse, Lex Luthor convinced them to build him a super suit to ultimately make him Superman. So,
Wait, did he convince them or enslave them?
well, no, Darkseid enslaved them. Lex Luthor.
Oh, he freed them, and
yeah.
it's like, hey, make me a suit
Yeah.
too. I just freed you, so.
And then I didn't read, but lucky you did. Superman 52, which is the death of Superman again.
And before the podcast, I was reading it to Justin, actually.
Yeah.
So reading it to him.
He basically it was like story time. Because I'm like, hey, Lucky, what happened? Because I'm kind of confused by a few things. So, like, in summary, Lucky, if you want to do just like a 20-second summary of it.
So, Superman. This is the first and last Superman I picked. Not the last I'll ever buy, but just like this is the only Superman I read, just because this is ending. So it starts Superman is fighting On Fire Superman, and On Fire Superman is like a clone of Superman.
Yeah, his name's Denny.
And he thinks he's Clark Kent too. So they're having like a clone Spider-Man thing. Like I'm Clark Kent. It's like, no, I'm Clark Kent. I'm Clark Kent. I'm Clark Kent. So they're fighting. Yada yada yada. Batman hits him with a bat plane. Somehow knocks him out. He's not that super, I guess. So then Superman has this plan. The new 52 Superman. He used to wear a t-shirt, but now he's wearing his shirt and cape again. He's gonna fly him out into orbit and then use his atomic blast. Is that what it's called, Justin?
Solar flare.
Solar flare to destroy him. So he's flying him up in the air. And for some reason his like strength is giving out. I don't know if it's something to do with the yellow sun or something, or he's just depowered. So he can't quite get to orbit and he starts falling. And then this other guy goes, "I've got you," and it's Gay Bear Superman. He's just Superman with a beard, and like it's like
he does. He looks like a handsome gayman.
Handsome gayman. That's more better than I could have put it. Did you? Just an aside, real quick. Did you know the new Street Fighter game, Justin?
Yeah.
Street Fighter 5. So there's like a bearded Ryu, and
really?
people call him Hot Ryu. He doesn't have a shirt on and he's got a beard, and so like, oh, Hot Ryu. So this is Hot Superman. So hot Gay Bear Superman. He's wearing black and he's got a beard. So Hot Superman helps him out. So he's jumping, and then New 52 Superman still has On Fire Superman, and he's like, "Thanks," and then he punches Hot Superman, and Hot Superman plummets back to the Earth.
That's so confusing because there's an on fire Superman and there's a hot one who's not on fire.
So,
On Fire is a clone, so he's not really a Superman.
Yeah,
But hot Superman isn't a clone?
Well,
No.
let me get to later. So, yada, yada, yada. New 52 Superman uses a solar flare to blow up On Fire Superman, and then he falls back to Earth, and he has absorbed the powers.
this is why people don't read comics.
Exactly.
This is too damn confusing. Wait, what? There's 3 Superman?
Yeah. So then Wonder Woman, who apparently in this New 52 has been banging New 52 Superman, goes to jump to go grab him, and Batman's like, "Oh no, wait!" And then he's like, someone's already got him, and Hot Superman has grabbed New 52 Superman and rescued him. So now, absorbing all this power, New 52 Superman's dying, and all his old friends show up from the woodwork. Lana Lang, they're like, thanks.
Steel.
He's like, you're a great friend. Lois Lane shows up. Kara, Supergirl Kara, not Power Girl Kara. Steel. I love Power Girl. Instead of the superhero symbol, the S, she has cleavage.
Yeah.
She says, awesome cleavage.
Obviously drawn by a guy.
Be weird if it was S-shaped.
Yeah, and then I was confused. Justin had to fill me in because I didn't know the New 52 story, but like Wonder Woman, like, wishes him goodbye because they were lovers in this universe.
Yeah.
And then he blows up, and like he just turns to dust.
Truly blows up and turns to dust.
Yeah. This is the onomatopoeia. It says Zakurakum. It's like a lightning explosion.
Hey, real quick.
I make up my own because they never do it justice. Like every onomatopoeia that I read, I'm like, I'm doing my own in my head. I don't like Bazekawak.
Do you guys read them out loud?
No.
So I'll be reading.
I imagine Justin. I imagine every one of yours is bazoom.
Well, kind of.
Justin is Hot Superman.
When I go through a comic book, I'm reading it and I'm reading it silently in my head. But then I come across an onomatopoeia and like lightning, and I'm like, and I have to. Okay, I'm reading in my head, and then Crackoom, lightning strikes, and then I can I have to say it out loud or something. And, like
before
my brain
you can
doesn't
move on.
Yeah, but my brain doesn't hear it, so I have to say it out loud.
I think I might mouth read it. You know what I mean? Like when you read and you move
Some
your
of them
mouth.
you have to.
I don't do
Like,
that
what
with
word
words,
is
but
that?
when I see the onomatopoeia, I might do it.
So Superman totally turns to New 52. Superman turns to dust,
and then
hot Clark Kent shows up and
Hot Superman still. No,
okay.
we're not in Rebirth yet, man.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, I'm just trying to get things straight in my damn head.
Okay, it's the same Hot Clark Kent as Hot Superman. Okay,
I knew it.
He's Hot Superman. He wears all black. He's like when Superman died and was reborn.
Yeah.
Like black with a white S. And Batman's like, "Where do we find you?" And Hot Superman's like, "Don't worry, I'll find you." And then he just jumps off, and then that's where it ends. So, pick up in Rebirth then.
Yeah.
Was that clear? Was that too many Supermans for everybody?
Yeah, that was for me.
So,
because obviously the question is, where did all those one's a clone and then one's just a
well,
sexier.
the clone and New 52 Superman are no more. So now you're left with handsome
Just
hot
Hot
Superman, who
the power bottom.
Yeah. So, but he's basically old Superman, Justin, or something. Or I mean, they haven't explained it yet. Yeah, I get it.
Pre New 52.
Married to Lois Lane. They got a super kid
named Jonathan, after his father.
I thought it was after the Martian Manhunter.
That's what I was thinking when
John
you first
Jones,
said it.
John Jones Kent.
Or after the UFC
Martian
fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Bones Jones Kent.
So I want to talk about Rebirth.
You think handsome Superman hyphenated his last name, so he's Clark Kent Lane? I mean, it's
probably
a new thing to do.
It is a new thing to do. Before we get into all the details about Rebirth, because for me this is a big thing. I don't know what you guys thought of it, so I want to know just straight up, what'd you think of it?
Oh, can I say something quick too, though?
Yeah.
Jeff Jones offered that anyone that didn't like it, they could mail him their copy and he would pay them. And I don't think anyone's mailing them to him. I liked it, but anyway, that was kind of cool of him to say that.
Yeah, and
I watched Flashpoint.
Yeah,
the cartoon. So I was kind of knew what was going on with that one. I was a little more up to speed, but I didn't know Wally.
Is that Justin? Does that mesh with the comic books exactly? The cartoon?
Yeah, it's exactly the same as the.
So I can catch up on it if I watch that.
Yeah,
okay.
And Flashpoint.
On Netflix.
Flashpoint creates the New 52.
Flashpoint has to do with the Flash, right? Barry Allen or not?
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But in this one, it's Wally West that was lost in the time speed
Yes.
force or whatever.
Of course.
Yeah, so I was kind of caught up with that. Everything that was happening, like everywhere that he would go, because as I guess he would like have an attraction to somebody.
Well,
that
so
I
I
yeah,
think
go
that
ahead.
was great. It was kind of like the never-ending story. He's just like,
Yeah.
say my name.
Dude, but and then like okay, not to jump way too much ahead, but when he was at his like moment of death, because
Yeah.
as he's going through the Speed Force thing, it's like killing him, and he's like trying to hurry to find somebody who can save him. He goes to the woman that he loved. He thought maybe she could save him. He goes to a bunch of other things that went by too quickly for me to remember, and then he finally goes to Barry Allen, right?
yeah.
The Flash,
Mm-hmm.
and he has this death scene, and I'm reading it on Comixology, so I don't have like a good idea of how long this death scene is going to take. And every panel that I read, I think, well, that's it, he's dead. Swipe, and he has another line. Okay, swipe, and he says, and this is goodbye. Swipe forever. Swipe. I mean it this time. It just kept going. I thought, holy shit, is this guy never gonna die?
Oh, So I'll say this: number one, just first and foremost, I loved this book. I think, for me, I don't know. I like I said, I've not read a lot of comic books like 50 years ago and stuff. I don't go way back into the Wayback Machine and read a lot of comic books. But for me, amongst like current comic books, I think it's probably one of the best books I've ever read.
That's a lot of
I-
alliteration in that sentence, Justin.
A lot of what?
Alliteration.
Alliteration.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. That scene you're talking about, Ben, for me, I read I bought the book and I read it, in hard copy form. And
I bought the book too. Ben.
reading that scene with Wally West talking to Barry Allen, and I hate to let's
It
start.
sounds like you're trying not to alliterate, but you
No,
just
I'm
have-
not.
all the words are like DC names. Well, Wally West and Lois Lane, but this is the best book I could read. Yeah.
That was good.
I was like, anyway, sorry. Go on.
I seriously cried reading that.
Yeah,
Ah.
no, that's the thing is like I felt it.
Don't admit to the world you cry.
Dude, it was like so. I'm telling you, it was one of those things where it just hit me, and I'm reading that part, and as he's talking to him, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm like really feeling like those emotions, like within my soul, I can feel it.
It was
Yeah.
a great emotional moment because he was like, "Oh, everyone's forgot about me. I don't exist. No one remembers." And he's like, "Wally?" It's like, "Yes, yes."
Yeah,
that moment for me was like, holy shit.
dude, and then I just felt like I was like my eyes are moistening and like, oh my god. Then before you know it, like I'm like about to turn the page again, and like I got tears like dripping down my face. I'm like, holy shit.
As you were crying, reading your comic book by yourself, Stephanie was packing up her stuff into a suitcase. Just like, I can't believe this. Or because she's reading comic books and crying. Like, come on.
Oh, so well, and I want to say, like, okay, for those that maybe didn't read it and want to understand why, like, the book starts off with a picture of a watch, and you don't realize who's talking exactly during this part, but it's Wally West talking about how we find out it's Wally West, and ultimately that. And he's been gone for forever. Like, this is a guy that's been gone. And,
Was he gone for all of New 52?
Yeah, he's not been around.
What did they explain? Where did he go with the Speed Force? Is that where he was?
Yeah, he's trapped in the Speed Force, and he's ultimately about to succumb to the Speed Force, where he'll totally vanish forever and be gone for forever. And there's so much narrative in this book, and I guess it was like impactful in a lot of ways because number one, he's talking, like you said, Ben, not only is he lost, but he's forgotten and all this, and he's about to dissolve for forever. And throughout this book,
and he goes to all these crucial people. Like, they built up to that moment real well because he's going to all these impactful people that had a huge impact on his life. So.
Yeah, I mean, he starts off and he goes to Batman first, and
Can I just say something real quick? When he goes to Batman first, did it remind you of Batman v Superman a little bit?
Yeah,
it does. Yeah, totally.
Definitely did.
Coming through the
Maybe they could do that.
You are right.
I think they could. Did they establish that that's Barry Allen? Because they could totally do like have that be
Wally West.
Wally West, and then have the guy who plays Barry Allen.
No, that would be too deep for them to do that.
They might though.
That was the Wally West.
Jeff
version.
Johns is in charge now, and Jeff Johns wrote this
Hey, Jeff
book.
Johns would, but I don't think Zack Snyder would.
Yeah, it's too deep for Zack Snyder.
So
and then
Wally
Batman
West-
kills the Flash.
What's
Huh?
that? I didn't hear what you said.
He said
That was
then
Zack
Batman
Snyder.
Flash
Oh.
because he's Snyder.
That was Zack Snyder.
Well, I thought
directing.
like it would be cool then if they say that was Wally West, and then they do bring in the Barry Allen from the TV show.
That would be amazing. So
Did you just come up with that?
Yeah. That was better than Zack. Why you mad
Yeah.
because that's better than Zack Snyder killing the Flash?
No. I was just teasing.
You mad, bro?
So what I loved about it was they introduce him and there's a lot of narrative. And the narrative is not just Wally West talking. I really feel like it's Jeff Johns talking to the reader too. Because he talks so much about what's been lost. He's like, we used to have tradition and a legacy and families and relationships. And one day this happened, this flashpoint occurred, and it all got wiped out, and we were lost, and we forgot who we were. And I'm like, dude, this is fucking the chief creative officer of DC talking to the readers, talking to the comics,
Talking about the
community.
state of the comics.
Yeah, and it's
Was he not in charge during the New 52?
no, he was. That's what I'm saying.
So
well,
he's
This
admitting
was like an apology.
messed up.
yeah,
Okay.
and that's, I don't know. I mean,
But ultimately, I feel like when they do things like this, like because Marvel did the similar thing with Secret Wars and Spider-Verse and all that, I feel like it adds to the continuity. It doesn't like like we say that it's an apology, but to me, it's cool. It's a really creative way to fix things without completely saying that
Without
no, it
wiping
didn't
the
happen.
slate,
Yeah,
right.
no, it did happen, but look what and then you come out of it. Like you have the dark moments, and you have dark moments in everything, and you have dark moments in movies.
right.
But and that's not your favorite part of the movie, but by the time or whatever story, whatever, by the time it comes out, then by the time it's all resolved, then you feel great and you kind of appreciate that dark moment. So I like that they do things like this.
They say it is darkest just before the dawn. You think you have something there?
We need a reference sound as well every time Lucky makes a reference to a franchise.
But I love that they go back and they show the story of Wally West as a kid, and he was the president and only member of the Flash super fan club.
Fan club.
Yeah, and just how much he admired the Flash, and the Flash met him only when he was like a kid. And, ultimately, as you go through this book, he's reaching out to the most important people. And the last person he goes to is Barry Allen, the Flash. And that's the one who he's like, oh, my God, I remember you. And I think, that's significant of the relationships that were lost and the friendships that were lost and things like that in the New 52. And I think it's significant from the perspective that Flash created the Flashpoint, and he's the one that kind of also saves and does this rebirth thing and saves Wally West. And I just thought that was so awesome.
But also, was the Flash the one that created it all?
Right. And so that's interesting, right? We find that out at the end of the book.
Which as I'm not a DC fan, I like certain books, but these are literally the first two DC books I read other than Killing Joke and Dark Knight Returns, which are separate graphic novels. So I was kind of reading it and trying to catch up on all this stuff, but this ending that we're kind of building up to here got me really excited because I read that.
Before we jump to that though, I just want to say the way that they wove all the major characters of the DC universe back into the continuity. I mean, you go to Ted Kord and the Blue Beetle and Ray Palmer and the Atom. Aquaman. You see the new Green Lantern. You see all these people, Dr. Fate, all these people that are just interwoven into this. I just think is so awesome. And I'm like, man, this is like, why didn't Jeff Johns write the origin story for Batman versus Superman in the way to introduce the Justice League? Because look how awesome all this Swamp Thing was in there, and Constantine, and all these different characters. Darkseid is shown in here again, and it's like everything is brought back to life and kind of reset. And I just thought it was so amazing. And then, yeah, you get to the very end, and you see kind of who was tinkering behind the new 52.
I love the way it ended.
I got
too.
so fucking pumped.
You know what? Like, they even did the 9 panel too. Did you notice that, Justin? It's fucking awesome.
I actually didn't notice it because I read it in comics.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. I didn't notice that, and I do now.
I literally noticed it just now, though. Like, I didn't. I was like, oh.
So yeah, I mean, you basically discover that Dr. Manhattan's behind the new 52 and why everything took place, and because the whole book alludes to like someone else did this. Barry Allen, you didn't do this. Somebody else was behind all this, and kind of.
This is huge too, because it's just kind of funny. Is Dr. Manhattan's the only one from the Watchmen that has real superpowers, but also like how powerful is he? Like, how are they gonna fight him? Like, he can basically alter time and reality. Like, he's like making worlds in the Watchmen. You know what I mean?
Well, what I read is that he's not going to be so much of a villain as much as just an antagonist, or something that's going to drive the plot. So they might not have to even fight him if they can like discuss with him like what the fuck he's doing to their world and everything.
And what I love about...
They're going to have to find the Silk Spectre and get him to hook up with her to calm that guy down.
From all this chaos, there was you.
What I love about how the story's woven together, again, I think any great storyteller kind of drops stuff throughout. And what's fun, like, I can't wait to go back and reread this, because there's little stuff dropped in there that you're like, oh my god, I didn't notice this subtle little nod and that and all these other things. One of the things that you notice is, first of all, the very first, it starts with 9 panels and it ends with 9 panels. And the first picture is a watch. So basically the end of the story
I didn't notice
at the beginning. And
there's one of the issues of Watchmen.
And the first like big major... And the first like crumb, I don't know, you wouldn't even call it a crumb. The kind of the reveal was Batman finding the pin, the smiley face pin with the human bean juice on it.
No one noticed that.
And the other little
well, I'm just saying.
The other little nod too is they show Pandora at the end of chapter 2, and she gets disintegrated just like Rorschach did in the books. And she's left with just like a little trail of, human splatter. Yeah.
Also, so there's 12 chapters in this Rebirth. Isn't there 12 issues of The Watchmen? Are you looking that up right now, Justin?
No. Are there 12 issues of Rebirth?
No, Watchmen. So there's 12 chapters in Rebirth.
Are there? I think there's 4.
No, there's way more issues than 4 issues in Watchmen.
No, in Rebirth there's
12
4.
issues. Not okay. In this book, how many?
There's 4.
Okay, never mind. There's 4. You're right. Okay, but Watchmen is all right. Never mind. I thought 12 was okay.
No, that's all right. And so the way that the book ends is that there's a little epilogue, and then it goes like a black page or whatever. But then the big splash page of Rebirth. I mean, if you notice, the greatest heroes and the greatest threats, pretty much every hero on that page is smiling. And I think that's and it's and there's a bright blue background, like the sky and
wait, which picture is this? When is it?
At the very end of past the epilogue, it says the clock is ticking across the DC universe. Then you flip one more page, it's a big double like gatefold splash page of the greatest heroes and their greatest threats, DC Universe Rebirth. And again, everybody, Superman very prominent in the front. Batman even has kind of like a straight face smirk.
Oh, the advertisement. Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically. So I just think that's cool.
Very un-Zack Snyderian to have Batman and Superman smiling.
Right. And Wonder Woman straight up she's cheesing.
She's kind of got some doe eyes looking at that Superman.
She does, yeah. But yeah, and then they reset the Superman, origin or original story that we get our old Superman back, who's married to Lois Lane and has a kid. And did you notice the name of the hotel or whatever that they're staying in is the Seagull something or other, and that's named after one of the creators of Superman. It's the Seagull Motel and the Seagull Coffee Shop.
So let me ask you guys to speculate here, since we know that it's Dr. Manhattan kind of fucking with time or whatever. Why do you think that Batman was able to find the Rorschach's bean juice?
The pin?
Yeah, the pin. Like what does that mean? Does that mean that the Watchmen are in that universe? All the Watchmen?
I mean, certainly.
I
seems
assume
like it.
so.
Yeah.
And his monitors were broken too, so it's like someone was messing with him or something, right? Because there's a broken computer in his place.
Is there? Where?
Look at it. In the 9 panels where Batman's in the Batcave before he starts chipping away, there's a broken computer monitor.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's like cracked in the corner.
Yeah, they don't explain why it's broken, right? So
No. And that panel's Wally West's narrative. He says whoever they are, they did this for a reason.
yeah. It's kind of funny though. So like the Watchmen, they already have a version of them in the DC universe. So
I didn't know that.
yeah, Rorschach. So they bought it was a different comics company. I can't think of the name right now, but it had so basically the Blue Beetle. This is where Blue Beetle, the Mask. Who are the other ones? Dr. Manhattan is actually crap. Captain something. Do you know what I'm talking about, Justin, or not?
I don't know.
So originally, Alan Moore, they gave him these guys that they were going to write. And he's like, oh, I want to go too far with them. So he's like, no, you can just make your new characters. So, like, Rorschach is the Mask. Night Owl is Blue Beetle.
Oh.
And you notice Blue Beetle's vehicle is exactly like his.
That's true.
Yeah.
The mobile.
Black Canary is Silk Spectre. Let me look at it. Where is it?
Huh.
Background.
I didn't know. I thought this was like
Charlatan
the first...
Comics is what it was. That's what DC bought them. It doesn't matter. Just those characters came from them, and so so now they have double versions of them now. So.
I think I'll probably keep reading this because that is such a huge. I don't know. I'm just really excited about it. I'm really excited about more Watchmen too. Like to, I don't know, see what they do with that.
Well, Watchmen was always separate from the DC universe. Like it was within the universe, but outside of the universe, it was kind of alternate reality.
It was a Vertigo comic too, so like they don't acknowledge all the Vertigo ones, anyways.
Right. So it was one of those things where it was its own standalone thing, but DC owned it, and to have it cross over into like the world of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Green Lantern is kind of like, oh my god,
Yeah,
it's amazing. And again, I think what's interesting too about this book is Wally West is talking about who did this, because Barry Allen says who was it, and Wally West says they are more powerful than the Reverse Flash, more powerful than even Darkseid. So I'm wondering if there's like more than if it's all the Watchmen. How many people is it? I guess I'm curious if it's more than just Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah. Either way,
what other universe would they pull from, or what other reality would they pull from that's not already back in the New 52?
To add to, Dr. Manhattan.
The Rebirth. Well, besides like the Watchmen, what other universes they have to play with? I think Dr. Manhattan's pretty strong on his own.
Well, like, is Rorschach dead because he dies?
Oh, yeah.
So like those types of things,
okay.
I guess, are what I'm curious about. Like,
did Ozymandias die at the end of Watchmen, or did he just get like arrested, or
I think he
continued to live?
No, he's alive. Well,
he's
alive in the book in Rebirth. If you read the epilogue, he says nothing ends Adrian.
No,
okay, maybe he didn't die in it.
He's like, I did you don't really know who's talking, but he says, I did the right thing, didn't I? It all worked out in the end. in the end,
right.
nothing ends, Adrian, and it's in blue, which kind of reveals
it's
that
in
that's
blue.
Dr. Manhattan.
Dr.
talking.
Manhattan, yeah.
Um,
So Ozymandias, he's kind of super powered. He's a genius
Super
and he's super
smart.
quick.
yeah. So
Super gay too.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to say this too, from like a stylistic standpoint, was that you had a lot of different artists doing Rebirth. You had 4 different artists doing Rebirth, and you kind of don't even notice that there's multiple people doing it.
I noticed.
I know.
Well, okay, so
But yeah, it was
no, but sometimes
Yeah.
I'm just saying
was
sometimes
good.
it can be jarring. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god, it's so completely stylistically different. And the
yeah, this
biggest,
was a good match.
All right. If that's what you're gonna say, then I agree with it.
yeah, it's just it's not it's not as jarring. It's not like, oh my god, like it's not jumping from, I don't know. Give me two
No, they got
totally
the most
extremes.
similar artists to do it, but these are also like I think these are the best DC artists. Like I always like Ethan Van Schreiber, like when he did
yeah.
Green Lantern Rebirth, and I'm just reading the Flash Rebirth now. I guess it has a lot to do with Flashpoint, but I love his shit so detailed and stuff.
I think the 4 that they chose were just incredible. They're probably 4 of my favorites. So that was Gary Frank, Ivan Rice, Phil Jimenez, and Ethan Van Sciver.
Oh, you did the Hispanic pronunciation. Nice.
Phil Jimenez, yeah, I got it. No,
In my head, I said Jimenez. I'm an idiot. Phil Jimenez. But yeah, he's done Justice League for a long time, hasn't he?
Who's that?
Phil Jimenez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
I like.
I thought it was good. I think one of the things that I noticed, there's only 2 colorists on this, so I think that kind of maintained a lot of the style, because when you have different artists and different colorists, it can really kind of get stylistically very, very different, and so by having that pretty consistent, that kind of kept the book coherent and things like that. And I just think that, this is Jeff Johns' last book before he heads over to movies and stuff like that. And I just thought, what an awesome way to put a bow on it and everything that he's done in DC and things like that from the comics perspective. So I just think that it's just such a great book. And as soon as we're done podcasting, I'm going to read it again.
It's heavy though. It's a pretty heavy book as far as like.
It is 80 pages. It weighs more than the average.
Yeah, but I mean, just like it's there's
Nice
just,
pun.
Yeah. Pun. I don't know. Very wordy.
I thought it read very well though, because I've been reading other books. I'm like,
Dude.
they're really dense, and I get bored. But like this one it just had a nice.
So let me say this. We praise Comixology a lot, right? We think that it's great. Ben, I think you got to read the hard copy, because there are so many panels and there's so many, like Wally West's narrative through this, like his monologue is, if you have to swipe every time that he talks differently, I think that would get fatiguing. Well, and Ben, what you can do is
You can set it to
page
classic
mode.
view.
Yeah,
I
page
do that.
view.
Yeah,
page
I do that
view,
a
but-
lot because just to get better view of it. Because they'll do like a big splash or something, but they're just cutting through. Like they'll give you the splash page, and then zoom into the bubbles or whatever. But sometimes they don't, and I'll go to classic view.
Are you doing it on your
to get a good
computer or on a?
No, on my my Note 4,
Oh,
which is big enough for me. Yeah.
And I'll say this too. I'll tell you guys, I bought 2 copies. I bought one copy that I just want to kind of preserve, and it's going to stay bagged and boarded. And this other one's already like ripped up because I'm like flipping through it, leafing through it. Like this is going to be my workbook. Like yes, it's my new
you're gonna
Bible.
rate your name on that one.
It's my new Bible.
Mine's
think
still mint.
for me too. And I guess like to kind of sum it up for me, I think that if this is the jumping off point, they set it up really, really well.
Just what you could do with that beat up issue. If it gets too beat up, send it back to Jeff Johns
And get
then
$3
he'll give you the money, and then get a new one.
Tell him you didn't like it.
Yeah, you should do that as an experiment just to see if he actually does it.
That would be amazing.
But then he'd be like, "Wait, you lied to me. You liked it? You just did."
I'm gonna send it to him and be like, "Hey, I loved it. Will you please autograph it and send it back? That'd be awesome."
Hey, you shouldn't have said that. You might have gotten away with it.
I know.
Now everyone's gonna do it. All 10 of our listeners are gonna do that now.
So I think in summary, man, go read Rebirth. It's fucking awesome.
Agreed.
Yeah. And Ben, I'm gonna buy you a hard copy. You need a hard copy. You need a Bible. It's $3.
It was it's nice to get back into DC. I didn't fall off of DC, but the DC books were nice this week. So
yeah,
I think I'll be following this.
Good stuff. Good work, DC.
Yeah,
You're
and
doing better
DC
at comics
following.
and Europe movies. Just you gotta get those movies catch up, and you'll be.
and that's the thing. Like, I feel like I read this and I was like, I don't even care that Batman v Superman wasn't that great anymore. Like, because this for me, I'm like, this was so good. This is so good.
We've managed to talk about Batman v Superman yet again.
I think we'll probably still talk about Civil War, right? We talked about Civil War earlier, so that's just
Yeah.
but for
Civil War
separate
too.
reasons.
But in Marvel, we were talking about how the movie's better than the book right now. But DC, we're like, oh, the books are just better right now. They're great. Just like,
Yeah.
don't bother with Batman v Superman. These books have washed that taste out of our mouths.
Yeah.
And that was tough to do.
Yeah.
You
saw it twice in theaters.
I did. Do you guys have any other Rebirth
You
thoughts?
could mail that back to Zack Snyder, and he paid you back for.
He owes me $30. Plus
That's why he's not
popcorn.
making that deal. He's like, oh no, I'm not paying people back.
Like,
Jeff Jones knew he made something good. He's
Yeah.
like, no one's gonna. This.
Jeff, you deal with it yourself. I can't make claims like that because my movie bombed. And I don't know. I think that Jeff Johns moving over to the movie side of things, like I think too, what was so great about this book is it was just full of like hope and optimism and things like that. Like even when one of my favorite parts, and I think what just destroyed me emotionally as I was reading it, and I guess I'll just kind of read this out loud to the readers and you guys again because I kind of want to relive it as I find my page here. But they show his face. And they show the timeline, like they show him as a kid, and they show him as Kid Flash, and then they show him as Wally West, the Flash, and he's like trying to talk to Barry Allen, and he's like, it's me, and he's like, who are you? And
Who's
then
me?
Yeah, and he's just like, thank you for an amazing life. He's like, I won't die in anguish. I'll go with love in my heart. Goodbye, Barry. And I was just like, oh my God, it destroyed me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just like, oh God. But I think that's the tonal shift. And that's what Jeff Johns is so freaking awesome about writing with like hope and optimism and fun and things like that.
Those were all things that weren't in Batman v Superman.
Right, and that's why I think that this is just a perfect match of sending him over there to like inject some of that into this universe, and I think that can be a really good collaborative as long as creatively those two can work together and not have conflict and see each other's perspective and hopefully it's a really good marriage because I think that has me more optimistic for the future of DC movies, specifically the Zack Snyder ones and Justice League. Moving forward. So I think it's a good partnership. I hope it works out. But I guess as long as we have awesome comic books, that'll...
I hope the movies work out too. I don't want to keep paying for shitty movies, Like I don't hope them to go away. Like I wanted to see a good Batman v Superman, so I hope it works out too.
So ultimately, you just want to stop losing money.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it. Well, speaking of not losing money,
Civil War?
No. Even though we're not sponsored by Comixology, it's a dream of ours. Comixology has a new unlimited plan, so you can read a hell of a lot of comics.
Which I did.
For $5.99 a month, but currently there's a 30-day
Wait,
trial.
just for $5.99 a month?
Don't make it sound like don't make it sound like an ad.
Oh, okay.
I'm still upset with them
Well,
for not
$5.99 a month? What is this? Something costs a lot?
something that
Couldn't
costs.
come up with a reference.
Yeah, nice try. But Ben, you got it. You started your 30-day
Yeah, I got the 30.
trial.
Yeah, Yeah, and it's awesome.
Donald Trump's running around here for $5.99 a month for comics.
See if they get a dime out of me. Yeah, I don't know. I got the 30-day trial.
It's essentially the cost of 2 comic books a month.
Yeah, and you
Right.
could read a lot of shit.
I've gotten $4.99 comics before.
Well, lucky you're not buying any of the new Rebirth books because they're all $2.99 now.
Oh, that's not. I'm just looking at the covers of this so that Justice League was $5.99.
Yeah,
I
right.
noticed that.
No more. The last $5.99 book.
Way more pages in Rebirth, and it was only $2.99. It didn't have the hard glossy cover though, so I see where that price goes. Anyway, yeah, you're right, man. I think it's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a good deal. I've already read. I read Lazarus, which I didn't realize that. I got volume 1 of Lazarus, but I read that at your house before, and I apparently read the whole volume.
What does it go up to?
I'm not sure.
Comixology. Okay.
Volume. It goes up to.
That was the only thing. Okay, so the Comixology Unlimited just doesn't have DC and Marvel as unlimited, but then all those Image comics, most of them I've read, so that's why I'm not getting it right now. I'm gonna wait and see what else they have, but otherwise I would get it because it was like
see that's kind of the thing I'm thinking about. Like that's I guess like right now it's cool because I haven't read a lot of these things. Like I got Lazarus, I got Fathom, which is kind of I guess it's kind of good. I don't know, a lot of people love it, and I got Remind by Jason Brubaker, and but other things that things I want to follow, like Saga. They had volume 1 of Saga on there, which I've already read.
Just volume 1.
Just volume 1, and that's the thing is like okay, so I paid
the first one.
Yeah, I say if this was the free trial, but say that I paid $5.99 for this month, and by month 2 I'll pay another $5.99. But are they going to cycle in new things by then? And how long can they keep that up? You know what I mean? Like okay, so I don't even know what volume they're at with Saga or how far they'll go.
I think the trades go up to 6 right now.
The volumes, okay, yeah. So
6 comes out.
That would be.
Oh, okay, so 5 and soon to be 6.
5 is out right now. Yeah.
Yeah, so in 5 months, will they have that out? Will they be up to volume 5 in 5 months, or in 5 months will they still be on volume 1? And I'll have paid $5.99. You know,
Twice.
I guess but there's like 1,000 things that you can pick from. So when you're like right now, I'm basically exclusively using Comixology, and every time I want to read something new, I got to pay for something. And I want to read volumes, so I have a lot of reading material, and it's like right there at my fingertips. But with this, it's $5.99. Even if I don't want to read something, like I don't know if I want to spend the money on that, but it's kind of interesting. Now I can do it. You borrow it, you download it, and you have it for as long as it's available, and you can read it. And then when you're done with that, you go to something else that you probably wouldn't read, because you have to, kind of budget yourself. But now you don't have to, and that's kind of interesting. And they section it nice, so they have like parts where it's like the staff picks, or if you're just getting into comics, or things like that. So it's kind of cool. It's like categories, just like Netflix, recommendations and things like that. But yeah, I've already read 3 different volumes that I probably wouldn't have gotten into because I'm also trying to keep up with all my Marvel stuff. And Saga and things like that, so I think it's worth it. But again, it's a little too early to know how fast they're going to cycle through new material.
I think the world's getting way too subscription based. I mean, Pandora's $5.99 a month, Comixology's $5.99, Netflix is like $10, Hulu's $8. It's Dollar Shave Club.
Shave Club.
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, man,
I was just about to say that. You get
Loot Crate, $20 a month. You get toys and stuff like that in the mail. Some of the stuff's fun, but man, for me it's like, I don't know. I think you subscribe to some of those things and then you forget about it, and then you're like it's like a gym membership for me. Like, yeah, I joined a gym a year ago. I've been to the gym 7 times, and I give them $30 every month. And it's like, well, okay. It's one of those
things. Adds up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's a great value if you don't care about like current comics, but it's like, you wouldn't get Netflix to watch the latest and greatest that just came out of the theater. They don't have it.
But you would get it to watch Daredevil season 2, Jessica. They do have original stuff on Netflix.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, that would be interesting if Comixology started its own line.
Wow. Dude, Amazon's got the firepower.
I think they do have like webcomic. They're just not good. Like I think they will put like a webcomic.
I think we could agree. Like early Netflix series weren't.
What
were their series?
Like you'd find gems.
It's hard.
I think their series were good that they had because they knew they had to be good to get people to come over.
Yeah,
so,
but
like,
their first selections, even the first movies that
their first selection that's different. But their first series they themselves were very good. But like their first movies, there was like Walmart bargain bin stuff on there.
Right.
Yeah, you'd find a gem here and there, but
yeah, and that's the big thing for me is that you're not going to get anything current, and you're probably not going to get amazing blockbusters either.
Unless they get some deals. Like this is just they just started it this week, so like maybe a year from now it will be amazing. But that's like a year from now. Like I said, we need time to see if it works or something.
Yeah, like Saga Volume 2 came out in 2013. So like that's 3 years old already, and that's not even on there yet.
Really?
That's the thing. That's the thing for me, I guess, that it's like, so you get Volume 1, but Volume 1 came out in like forever ago. So
it's basically like a free
same thing with Hellboy and Fathom.
You pay for. It's like a better free comic book day but you pay for it.
Well, what's interesting is who they're trying to target here. They're not trying to target any like established readers. They're trying to target people who haven't read comic books because comic books, like they're recognizing that the comic book world, Justin, you just said it earlier, is confusing and it's hard to follow. And so this is like a kind of a low cost entry for
I think
people
they're targeting everybody. I mean, you can't just say
I think they eventually want to, but they know, like Saga, they know that sold out well. So anybody who's into comics has already read that. But for people who haven't, who are looking for, like that's in the new readers section. So if you're new to comics, they have all these recommendations for you. And I think it's interesting that that's who they're targeting. But it'll be
that's
even
what I'm
more
saying.
interesting.
You don't know exactly who they're targeting. You're not sitting in on.
Well, that's what they said in the in the announcement. They said they're trying to reach more people who don't read comics.
Yeah, I mean, for a 30-day trial, it's like, hey, I've never read a comic book in my life, but it's basically like a library card for comic books. Like, you can, for 30 days, you can try it out and see if you like reading comic books. And
that's interesting. And what'll be interesting is to see it transform because, like Netflix now, like we said, now it's something that people will just exclusively have. It's not like a supplement to your TV or whatever.
And to go way back, Netflix was a service where it was like, we'll mail you DVDs. Like, it was the worst, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that was our only way to get the content back in the day. But now it's like, that's archaic. You probably, if you went up to like a kid today and were like, hey, did you know Netflix started off where you would get DVDs in the mail? First of all, they'd say, what the hell's a DVD? The second thing that they would say is, wait a minute.
What's the mail?
What's the mail?
Yeah, what's the mail?
I mean, it's just funny. So, Netflix has evolved and the content has improved over the years. So I think that I agree that it would probably improve. I think it's awesome. I mean, if you can read comic books for $6 a month, it's great.
And it's a shitload because my problem right now is you guys know how expensive it gets. $30, $50 a month or a week or whatever.
Lucky, what do you spend? $50-$60 a week?
I spent $50 this week.
You spend $200 a month.
So there's that entry barrier.
Well, when you put it like that, Justin, it sounds like I'm a junkie. So
I will say, I guess I'll say this.
You are on a podcast.
Some weeks are worse than others because, like, sometimes everything will come out in 1 week, and you're like, "Damn, it's a $70 or $80 trip," and then other weeks you'll go and it's like $12.
But on those weeks, though, I'll like pick up a trade or something.
So I'm like, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so if you're having if you're like having a slow time where you don't have a lot of material to read, this is like a great way to just jump into something.
I think the best for me is when you're traveling or something. It's right there.
Like, it's so true.
Especially you're waiting at the airport. Like, I mean, I did it before Unlimited, but I was reading Comixology books. It's like sitting in the airport and shit.
And they always have sales. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. The other thing is, so Marvel has their own called Marvel Unlimited, and it's $9.99 a month. Or if you get, you can cancel anytime, but if you get a full year, it's $69 a month.
No,
And they
$69 a
have
year.
the full volume. What's that? What?
60. You said $69 a month, which
For
would
a
be
year.
very expensive.
Year for
Yeah.
a year, $69 a year.
Oh,
$9.99 a month, or $69 a year.
There you go. Now I'm on.
That's
with
what
you.
I said.
Now I'm on the train.
All right, now you're on the trolley. All right. So now they will have like the full volumes of old stories up until like a few years ago. So maybe that's if you want to catch up on Marvel, I think that's a really good deal because like I bought like the X-Men Omnibus for like it's like $100. It's like a shitload of issues, but like for one flat rate, I could have had it, and I don't have to lug around this giant tome. So
yeah,
I
that's
see
just
the value in that.
Home.
It is. It's tome size. It's like as big as the family Bible. Like
and it's inexplicably dusty.
you have to
That's
blow the dust off it. Right? But like so I think that's worth it. And like so maybe the Comixology will evolve to that. I mean, if they raise the price, I would pay to do that to get all of the saga or something. You know what I mean?
I think I said that like if it was, I'd pay $70 a month for unlimited current comic books.
Yeah,
digitally.
unlimited like Marvel,
maybe that's
DC.
like a package deal they could have because I mean they're already distributing it through Comixology.
I've been a big advocate of like getting stuff instantly and early and just paying more for it. Like for example, like
Yeah, convenience.
like Civil War. If you could pay $100 to get Civil War on Blu-ray the same day it comes out in theaters, would you do it?
Some movies do have dual release. They're just smaller movies.
Yeah,
though.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if
I don't
you,
know. I don't know if 100, man. Maybe 50. I don't even know about that, dude.
They have
Maybe-
to charge
maybe
you that much because they don't know if you're showing people in your house and stuff.
Yeah,
So-
but
Yeah,
that's,
that's
I guess
true.
that's what I'm saying is that, you know, for me, I would do that because, you know, if you go see Civil War twice in the theater plus concessions, you're probably close to $60, $70, and then you're going to buy it when it comes out on Blu-ray or whatever, and it's
Oh,
going to
that's
be
true. Yeah.
another $30, so you're at $100. I don't know. It's just like I would do that. I would do
You put
like
it
an
that way,
unlimited
yeah.
current comic books because I mean, I probably spend
In the long run,
$50 to $100 a month on comic books, I would say, ish. I don't know, somewhere in that ballpark, probably. You know,
That sounds like a
sometimes-
sensible amount to spend.
yeah. Well,
well, like
lucky I don't have tomes
I just spent
here, though. You know, so
I just spent 30 on Spider-Verse, and that's
is
a
that an
year
unlimited
or so
title?
old.
No, it's not.
It's
because
probably
I guess that's
well, it's
worth
probably-
noting, though. Comixology Unlimited does not have Marvel or DC.
no, but it would be Marvel Unlimited if it's old
Oh,
enough.
that's true. Yeah.
So I could
think
have
it
spent $10
might
a month
be.
on it.
Yeah. So Marvel has their own limit, but DC doesn't have any unlimited thing right now. But I mean, I'm sure they're going to launch something soon if they see how everyone else.
It would be huge if they partnered with Comixology though, and kind of undercut Marvel.
I don't think they could I mean, I guess they could, but I mean, they both sell their stuff on Comixology currently, though. So I don't know. It's possible, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would
Well,
be
like, right
if
now-
anything, I think they would do their own service.
But there's like supply and demand and stuff, and like right now I don't have Marvel Unlimited because I'm so on board with Comixology.
Marvel Unlimited is really the same thing, though.
It is, but I'm not going to get it also.
Right.
You
Well,
know what I mean? I might
right.
think about it, but I
mean,
don't want to.
I guess it's like anything else, like even just like real books or real television or movies or whatever. Like you can yeah, I don't know why I said real television, but
I've got the digital.
Yeah.
I got TV on my phone.
I just think there's great current content, but if you want to go back and watch stuff, if you don't mind watching stuff from 10 years ago, you can watch it for free.
Yeah.
Well, for free for the subscription amount.
I guess also see doing if you were on the move all the time, or if you're like a professional and you needed access to
Digital
reference
content,
something. Yeah, it's like I need to see that right now. What issue is that? Do you want me to? And it's like here it is.
Or if you
And, like
or if you do
you
a
don't have to bust
podcast
open
or
the-
something.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's you're exactly right. Like I think
Yeah.
it's a quick reference. You could go back and read it and recommend stuff to people.
Damn it! You might have just sold me on Marvel Unlimited.
I'm thinking of getting it. That's all.
Me
Once I
too.
finish, I might like just stop buying trades because, like, I'll go like peruse the trades and buy like some storyline I don't have. But like, why would I do that now if I can just go to Marvel Unlimited and just
Yeah.
do it? Because
Like,
they
how,
just
do you know
stop
how
shelf
far
trades.
back?
They go. The Marvel one goes all the way back.
I'm sorry. Do you know how current?
No.
Like, is a year? Like,
I
okay,
think they're
so
just, like, a
Secret Wars
few
was
years. You have to
2015.
look it up. But like, yeah,
Like
I don't think it would have 2015. It might have like the death of Captain America, but it wouldn't have that Civil War that just happened.
it wouldn't have Civil War on it even because Civil War is not that new. Civil War is pretty old, right?
2008.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Civil War would be on it. I think Civil War is on it.
You know what's so funny is to like look things up and just type Civil War, and as a comic book nerd, I'm like, all right, show me Captain America, and like George Washington shows up. I'm like, oh,
Like, what the fuck is this?
George, you mean Abraham Lincoln?
yeah.
Nice historical reference there. Bill and Ted.
Lucky.
And Plato shows up.
Cut me some slack. I wasn't going for historical accuracy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know history, right, fellas?
His point is he doesn't want to read history,
I don't want to know things about America. All
and he
right?
just proved it.
I'm looking for Captain America, not some old war general.
Not actual America.
Not real America. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
So where were we going? Where were we going with that?
I don't know. I was
So okay, let stream it. Or are you guys down with Comixology and or Marvel Unlimited? Yay or nay? Round the table real quick.
I'm
that's
down.
already got it. Are you gonna?
I've already got it, and I already like it.
Okay.
I already like it, but
So you're gonna
it's like I
renew it.
said.
I'll try
I
it
might.
out. I'll try it out. I don't think long term I'm into it. Because again, I read Rebirth and I'm like, all I can think about is like I can't wait for these books to come out. So for me, I'm like I've got to consume the current stuff. And honestly, you guys know that. I mean, it's hard to read a lot of comic books sometimes. Work and life and stuff gets in the way. So it's like you can only consume so much. Like, do I want to catch up on Game of Thrones? Read a bunch of comic books, play Overwatch. There's like, I have a job, all those things that get in the way. So it's like, there's only enough time sometimes.
Yeah.
So like,
I've had to cut out video games. So
yeah, having an absolute unlimited stream of content to me is not always appealing because it's like, I can only consume so much of it. So for me, reading unlimited comics that maybe aren't so super current or blockbusters or from the big two is not super appealing. So I'm going to give it a shot, but I'm not probably going to be on board long term, but I'll certainly keep you updated.
I have the kind of the opposite view on it, where I read through all the stuff that I've paid for so fast that I need more, and it's there for me.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good supplement for when
Sure.
I don't have a lot of material, because I'm trying to keep my the storylines that I'm going to try to keep up on. I'm trying to keep it at a minimum so I'm not losing a shitload of money. And this is a good supplement to where I can. I mean, they've got volumes on it, so
Right.
and plus I read at work, so
And Lucky, what about you? You in? You out?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna try the Comixology because it's free. Why wouldn't you try it? I don't know when. Like probably when I polish off a bunch of books, physical books that I read. Then I think I'll definitely get the Marvel someday because you don't have to have. You can go month to month or whatever. But like the Marvel, I'm probably gonna cut back buying trades of Marvel and just try that out for a little bit. So I think it's a good deal. So
yeah, it is a good deal. So you mentioned Overwatch.
Yeah, I did. Have you played it?
Did you like? I have not. You know what I did is
I know you played a lot of Halo. You said you played Halo.
yeah.
Of course you did. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, no, I played Overwatch. I like it a lot. Again, it's like, okay, ton of work, reading comic books, and so I've played some Overwatch. I haven't played a ton of it, and it's on the agenda here in the next couple of days. So,
I tried to get through the tutorial, and
Yeah.
my internet connection dropped on me, and then it was going to make me
Were you
start over the
hardwired or
tutorial.
Wi-Fi?
No, it was before I hardwired,
Oh,
and that's when I said, "Fuck it, I'm hardwiring," and I hardwired, and then I was like, "Well, let me just see how Halo plays," and then
yeah.
I slayed everybody,
And then you played
and I
for
was like,
like 3 days of Halo.
"Yeah," with Grump, we destroyed.
Um, I won't get all into Overwatch because I don't think I'm an expert to talk about it or anything. But there's some. So we're 2 weeks away to E3, and one of the things that's been talked about was a slimmed down and updated, more powerful PlayStation 4, a PS4 2, if you will. But yesterday it was also announced, this is a report that I read on IGN, that Microsoft has a new Xbox that they're probably going to release, an Xbox One too.
Look at these kids. They're like Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
They just gotta one up each other.
And so the new Xbox One is again, it's all speculative, but it's 4 times more powerful than the original Xbox One, and it'll have like a bigger hard drive, of course, and it's smaller than the current model, and it'll have 4K support and all this stuff, and ultimately, PlayStation's been known to be more powerful than Xbox. PlayStation 4 more powerful than Xbox One, and then allegedly this one is more powerful than the updated, more new PlayStation. So it's just this constant battle. But I guess like I wanted to get your guys' perspective on the Xbox One came out 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, almost 3 years ago, and the PlayStation at the same time. So like, how do you feel we all have either an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4? So how do you feel knowing that like what you bought 2 years ago is outdated and you need a new one?
That's
kind of
that's shitty.
like you don't
Especially
need it, but
considering-
it sounds like all these games are going to be made to have like dual compatibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know
That's,
how you guys feel about it.
I mean, it hurts a little bit, you know what I mean? Like the 360, that came out in what, '03 or something like that?
Yeah, it had a 7-year life cycle, 8-year
Yeah, it
life
was-
cycle or something like that.
I mean, they got a lot of miles out of that one.
Yeah.
And this just, I mean, I know it's not a next gen, but it's almost like a next gen without
It's
them trying to
kinda.
say that
It's a
next gen.
1.5. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just kind of bullshit. I don't know. But I mean, I guess, are you going to complain about a better product?
Well, it doesn't.
You know what I mean?
I think. Lucky, go ahead. You sound like you
It's kind of shitty now. They're turning it into an iPhone basically, so I have to get a new one every year now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's kind of upsetting me because I don't use my PS4 that much. So basically, my PS4 has taken the spot of my PS3, which I could still be using for. I have a PS3 and PS4 set up right next to each other now, but like the usage I get on the PS4 is mostly Netflix, Hulu, and for streaming services, and like that's what I was using my PS3 for. And so now I bought this like last year or 2 years ago, and now it's like obsolete. But like my PlayStation 3 could be doing the same function. So I'm just like, what was the point in buying a PS4 now? I mean, I bought like 4 or 5 games where I don't really play, but it's just like I don't know.
Now, why don't you play them? Is it there's not good
I don't
games?
have time.
Or
No,
you're not like, oh, okay.
I only buy good rated games. I just don't have time to play them. But it's like, it's just kind of shitty. So now, I don't know. It's frustrating.
It's a way for them
Like, what do I
to
do
get
with this
next
old
gen.
one now? If I want to buy the new one,
Yeah.
are you going to give me a refund program? Or I have to take this back to fucking.
They really
GameStop,
should.
and they're like, here's $20 for your PS4. Oh, thank you. And then I say thank you for their $20. like they're doing me a favor, and so it's just
a way for them to get next gen money without putting out a next gen system.
yeah. It's
That's what it seems like.
Well, it's an update. It's funny to me because
the old switcheroo is what they're doing. They're
The old
pulling one over.
switcheroo.
Yeah. Like, no, it's not next gen. But like, if you want to be current gen, your old one's not current gen.
Yeah.
No, it's not next gen. This is the new current gen.
the new
The new current gen.
I don't even know if Xbox even has a VR headset, if they're just going to use Oculus or Steam. But like the The headset should work with this, but I guess you can play more 4K games, and I guess that goes for the Xbox One as well. But I don't know. You also have a 4K TV at the same time to do that.
Yeah, so I think that's the big thing for the new consoles is they need more graphics power to process for 4K stuff.
Yeah.
My issue with it, well, my issue is like several fold. Number one, I guess what I don't mind is that it's not mandatory. Like you don't have to buy a new console to continue to play Xbox One games. It sounds like
You don't have
dual
to,
compatible.
unless you're a loser.
Unless you wanna,
Like
if you want to be old current gen.
Yeah.
So that's part one of it. I'm not mad about it because it's not mandatory. The other part though that I think is silly just about technology in general is how like they really just make it obsolete within a year so that you just feel you constantly have to buy new stuff. And I'm really getting fatigued of that quickly because I've upgraded the iPhone every 2 years and I'm done doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
Some people do it every year now. It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
The iPhone that I have now, I'm gonna have for like as long as it'll last.
Well, it'll only last 2 years. Don't worry.
I know because they'll release software updates that the hardware can't process.
Crash your shit.
Or they're just gonna change it to the new Lightning Link 3, and your old one won't work anywhere. You just won't be able to charge your phone.
I know. Yeah, you can't charge it anymore. Oh, it died. Well, you need a new one. So yeah, and I don't have a 4K TV. 4K TVs to me are kind of funny because it's like,
they're not broadcasting it. They're affordable now, but like, you have to buy. You have to look for the special 4K. Like there's like you could watch Daredevil 2 on Netflix. I think you even have to pay more for 4K Netflix, but only a few shows on it are broadcasting 4K. So it's like
no television's broadcasting in 4K. And and again, not to get on a television rant, this is a radically shifting podcast where we go from comic books to technology.
We just went from kids to old men.
Yeah. I'm tired of them upgrading my shit.
Well, I don't know how to program this. What's a K? How many? Is this enough Ks?
But like a 1080p screen, like I have like a 50-inch TV or 46-inch TV or whatever. From where I sit, I cannot see the pixels. So adding more pixels and making it 4K doesn't improve the resolution for me. So it only matters if you're on a giant screen. So unless you have like a 90+ inch screen, going to 4K will literally make almost no difference at all. So it doesn't. So I don't feel the urgency to go get an Xbox 1.5 or a PS4 1.52.
I just came up with another prediction too.
What's that?
Never mind the fucking bandwidth issues for one. Even if you did have 4K Netflix,
I was going to ask you about that.
For it. Yeah, so you probably couldn't play any game online in 4K.
I couldn't play shit.
Unless you got
definitely
a
couldn't.
T1 connection hooked up to your house.
Yeah, mine's having troubles as it is.
Does that affect it? The graphics? Because you're
actually, I don't know. Yeah, because it just processes.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, the graphics are processed locally.
Okay. So for video, for video, it would fucking still take a long time to send that. Like a TV thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if you're watching Netflix, then certainly, if you're watching it at a 4K online or something, then yeah, you're absolutely right. I just think, again, I don't mind it. I don't mind it because it's not mandatory. That's why I'm not throwing my hands up.
Well, yeah, anything you ignore, you're not going to mind.
Right. That's true. That was profound, Lucky. And then Nintendo has some mystery console that they're going to be unveiling, which is, I don't know. Nintendo.
I think the biggest thing for me from Nintendo right now is that they're going to make mobile games now, which, like, can you imagine playing Mario on your fucking
Yes.
iPhone?
I mean, yes, I can imagine it, and I hope it happens.
It did not happen soon enough.
I know.
I think their first one is, like, a Pokemon game, and then...
Oh, they're making them for mobile devices, not just for their own. Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, and you're right. The first one to come out is I think it's called Pokemon Go. But
they're ahead of the curve on that. The big three game systems are just now getting. Go ahead.
Pokemon Go. It just sounds so Japanese.
Well, Nintendo's been more successful in the handheld game than they have been in the home consoles for a long time now, since the Wii.
Because they refuse to advance.
Yeah, I mean, did you guys have a Wii?
No, my friends did. So
Yeah.
but that was the number one console for a long time,
Yeah,
though.
but
Because it brought people in. It brought grandmas and moms in and
right.
stuff.
So I was gonna say, just name the best game on the Wii.
The
Bowling.
one with the Mii's.
The free ones. The free ones
All
really
the
were
Mii's.
Yeah,
I used to like the boxing. That was fun.
yeah. The Wii Sports game that came with it was the best game on that console.
True.
That's what, like, as a hardcore gamer, I hate that console.
Well,
'cause
unless
it's
you like Zelda or something.
Wind Waker was on GameCube, so I can't even say that. Yeah, I don't think there was any like blockbuster title, yet it was a hugely popular console, and so
There was a Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Nintendo's always been funny about controllers. Like, they had the light gun, the power glove, the track mat that you could run on.
Those are all their worst ones. Imagine some of their good ones. The Wiimote was actually innovative and cool.
Yeah, I know. The 3DS, the touchscreen DS,
The Nintendo 64 was the first controller to have
a
the thumbstick for which you need for 3D gaming.
Yeah.
So that's like quite innovative.
That's what I'm saying. They've
Oh,
always
I
been
like the
innovative.
touchscreen on DS too. That's fucking awesome. Anyway.
Oh, and then the Wii U gamepad was a touchscreen, and you could play the same exact game on the gamepad and have the TV off.
The only problem with it is like it wasn't a tablet, but like and everyone just wanted it to be, but it wasn't. If it was, it would have been amazing.
Well, and that's where I think Nintendo could shortcut, because everybody has tablets and phones and things like that. Like, you could just put it on that, and then you don't need to be innovative with controllers. You can just use what people already have.
Use your iPad as a controller.
That's where they need to just embrace mobile gaming and roll with that and stop making consoles, in my opinion. I think they're just lost. The Wii was successful. The Wii U was a colossal failure. And I think if this new console is just like a casual, like, oh, it's for fun games and stuff like that, unless they have some truly breakout, like, innovative controller design or something that's going to, like you said, rope in moms and grandmas and people that never play video games, then it's just not going to work.
Have you seen the prototypes?
No.
Okay, so
I
one
think
of
it's
the
largely
prototypes-
under wraps, right?
Well, yeah, but you can find some leaked prototypes. Or when people file a patent, you can look up their patent files.
Right.
So what it is just imagine like an original Nintendo controller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, probably it's something bigger and more ergonomic and fancier, better design look. But basically, imagine that with the D sticks on it, or the D pads and the thumbsticks on it, and the buttons. Yeah, the D stick. Your D stick.
Give me a D stick.
But imagine it, but like instead of the just a surface, you could see it like the whole thing's a screen with buttons on it. So that's what the leaked one is.
So
but
it's not going to have physical buttons, or it will?
I think it will, but also it's going to be a screen under it. Does that make sense? So like you can see a monitor under the buttons and shit.
Oh. Huh. Yeah, I just think it's got to be as powerful as an Xbox or a PlayStation, because the Wii U felt a generation behind. Well, the Wii felt a generation behind with the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, and then the Wii U comes out like as an in-betweener, and that was at the time that the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 were coming out, and then that felt behind again. So unless Nintendo does something to like that it can run, like, you're not going to get the latest Madden or competitive shooting game or whatever for a Nintendo console.
Well, I don't know why.
What? Oh,
I don't know why they're damning the graphic. Like why they're, I don't know, trying to jettison looks and I don't know. They're just kind of relying on gameplay. As
what they
looks
have is
aren't
their
important.
proprietary characters and stuff. But
Yeah.
also like to back to what Justin was saying, like they've kind of like fucked themselves every time their consoles. So like with their storage devices, so like GameCube, everyone else had a DVD player. GameCube comes out with its own proprietary mini discs, and like people were buying PlayStation 2s because they use it as a DVD player. So then, cut to Wii U comes out, and then I don't think that plays Blu-rays. It still plays their own DVDs. Everyone else is playing Blu-rays. So now, and my Asianness came out. So now,
I didn't want to say it.
it's just Japanese people, anyways. So now the new console, the rumor is it might go back to a cartridge base, not like a cartridge, but
I
like
heard
you know how
that.
like a mini disc. So like that's kind of what the Nintendo DS is kind of. They're like basically big mini or big hard or SanDisk cards.
Yeah.
Is that what- yeah.
Oh, I see.
So that
Yeah,
could
yeah.
be cool because then there'd be no load times. You wouldn't need hard drive space. It'd just be on the cartridge. And I think you know how much a thumb drive cost. They're relatively cheap now for those memory sticks.
You can
and
get one
stuff.
for like $5. They're in like bargain bins at Staples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would get that and then like take no time to load. So I don't know. It's interesting to see
That
where
would
they
be
go.
interesting.
But I mean, I think they're. I mean, for them to stay in the console game, like maybe they're trying to rekindle that the magic they had with Wii. So we'll see what they
Yeah.
do. Now
My
everyone
prediction
else
is-
is jumping on the VR bandwagon. So I mean, it's interesting to see what Nintendo does if they go in a
It's
different.
funny because they're usually ahead of all that innovation.
Yeah, they had the Virtual Boy years ago, which sucked and wasn't
Yeah.
really.
I still think VR
Well,
is
then they-
ahead of
they
its
were-
time, by the way. I don't think we're ready for it.
They have to make it. I think where VR would work if you do a VR arcade and you go there and you don't have to buy it and shit, because that'd be cool if you can run around in it. But like, so right now the VR, like, if you don't have the space, it kind of sucks. Like that, the HTC one, like they have that Google Paint and stuff, and it has a big chunky controller. But there's also a shitload of wires and they're heavy, and then you need the space to do this stuff. So.
Right.
It's gonna be rough. Like, it's gonna be cool if you had the space and could afford it. Like, have you seen the 3D treadmills?
Yeah.
Some of the things
Yeah.
have like that looks fucking cool. And then it'd be like someone athletic would have an advantage playing a shooter where if you couldn't just run a mile.
Yeah.
Whereas like, oh, you actually have to be in shape to run and jump and stuff. Like
Play a
that could be
match a day.
interesting. Yeah, you would have real gaming athletes that were athletes. Which,
And you can have like monitors. You can have monitors on you that would show up in your heads up, so you can see your heart rate and stuff like that. And
Yeah. I think
That'd be
I
kinda
think
cool.
it's just I don't know. I think it's novelty, and I don't know if it's sustainable.
Well, to counter that, though, I'm already seeing it bleed through in a lot of places. Like my daughter watches a lot of Let's Play YouTubers, and like iBallistic Squid and Lumpy Cat, I forget his name, and then I has Cupquake, and they're on board with it. They're already kind of showcasing a lot of yeah, I has Cupquake. She's adorable, and she's married, and I'm angry about it. But anyway, they've been playing a lot of VR stuff, and it looks fun as hell. Like the one dude, all he's doing, it's called like Work Simulator, and he just goes through and does a bunch of different jobs, and it looks hilarious.
Well, that's
and
only
it's,
fun
and
'cause
it's
that's
like
his
super
job.
accurate. Yeah,
his job is to go online and play your job. So obviously,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not- you can just turn it off.
But it's kind of interesting because the whole idea is like it's in the future, and these robots are kind of creating this job simulator for you, and they're like getting it adorably wrong, and
Can you
so there's like
get fired on Monday and then coming in Tuesday and shooting up the office? Is that?
yeah, then it's like Call of Duty and stuff.
I think
But it's the thing that's appealing to it, and where like remember the Kinect and motion was all the rage.
yeah.
But do you remember when it actually came out and it was so inaccurate and so clunky,
Right.
and you were just like you were looking for that game that actually worked well? Well, it was crazy watching this guy operate this thing because he's like bending over and picking things up, looking at it, rotating it. He can throw it up in the air and catch it in his other hand, like he's got two paddles. Virtually it would go in the air and he would catch it. And just the accuracy of it, like there was like points where he had to like insert a card into something or pull money out of something or put ketchup on a thing, and it was really accurate and it worked really well, just as advertised. And I think that'll be the saving grace
I
because
just
the
wanna
second
say-
you see that, I want to fucking try it.
The thing that you just talked about, though, putting ketchup on things and taking money out of a machine.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is that about? Why would you
Dude,
want to do that?
No, it's a job simulator, and one of them he was being a chef, one he was working in an office, one he was doing something else. But
I don't know. I don't think it's sustainable. I think it's like the motion stuff or the camera capture stuff. I don't think it lasts long term. You look at what's lasted like for the last 15, 20 years.
the things that are the things that are more like in depth and have more nuance to them, like competitive gaming. A
Like
lot
a
of people
real
say,
controller.
yeah, a real
A keyboard
controller
and a
that
mouse, physical buttons. Like those
Right.
things work. I don't know.
True.
That's
You know, it'd be like fun. Is like I think that. You ever watch the videos of people freaking out in VR, like when they're on the roller coaster?
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, on
Or,
the
I
Minecraft roller coaster.
Or I think they did the Aliens Isolation. That would be kind of cool to play.
think-
And then you know what else would be cool?
Like
is if
like
they had,
horror
a-
horror games, yeah.
horror games would be really cool. And then I think if they made, remember Rampage World Tour?
yeah.
If
Oh,
they
that'd
could have
be
like
sweet.
that,
Love
or
that
like
game.
a Hulk or Godzilla simulator or something.
Yeah, where you can just go around
just,
destroying shit.
yeah, just throw shit and pick it up.
I guess like
That's what I mean, though. It's like the accuracy
Yeah.
of it is impressive.
We'll play these games without Justin, Ben. You and I'll have fun and Justin.
Yeah, we'll hang out.
I want
we'll
my
hang out in
mouse
our,
and keyboard.
we'll hang out in our Ready Player One world, and Justin could be in the real world like a loser.
well, I think it would be fun for storytelling, like interactive storytelling. I think that would be awesome. I think it would be really cool for Lucky. You talked about how you could look at artwork and things like that in a more interactive way.
But
So
they
I
have a 3D art paint with like Google made it. Like you can paint a statue.
yeah. So
like-
Oh wow!
I guess for me it's like, you know, I saw one where it was like the game was graffiti artist, and basically to
Saw that
me,
one.
you know what these are is like developmental tools that they're just like, oh, it's a game, and no, it's not. This is like a test thing.
These
that
are
you did.
components of a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It's so in its infancy. I think we'll see it surge, and then it'll go away, and it'll come back in 20 years and be amazing. Because it's
I
like,
think yeah.
look at
20,
3D.
I think 5, Justin.
No,
I
but
think
look at
20
3D.
is
3D
way-
was a thing where it came out, and we
Oh,
had
in the
we had
50s?
yeah, we had red and blue. We had red and blue,
Yeah.
and you could see things in 3D, but it was basically in like a brown color.
There
or
was a
very
small
reddish blue.
resurgence
That
in the
technology
90s.
didn't evolve for years because my first computer, it came with like a 3D CD-ROM, like an educational dinosaur game, and it was the same blue and red technology they had in the 50s for horror movies.
Do you remember in the 90s when ABC and NBC had a 3D week, coincidentally at the same time because they're competitors, and
Yeah.
like Third Rock from the Sun?
Did they mail you
was-
glasses or something? What did they do?
You would get them somewhere. I think you would order them. I forget how we got them, but ABC
Send
had
a self-addressed stamped envelope to NBC. In 6 weeks, we'll send 3D glasses.
and you'll be enjoying 3D in no time. But NBC had red and blue. One of them had red and blue, and then ABC or the other one had like clear, like just kind of like what we have in the theaters today, which is kind of interesting. So there was like by the 90s there was a little bit of an advancement.
Yeah, and
But
it came to TVs, and guess what? It's already gone. Like it's no
It
longer
was
the rage of
yeah.
TVs. Like at home,
Yeah.
4K is the new thing. 3D is out, and
I don't think it works for home.
If they made it at home, I think it'd work if you could use the same glasses that you have from the theater. But I
Yeah.
don't think they do that because they don't want you stealing the theater glasses and bringing them home.
yeah, and
Well,
I think
that,
it
and
has
I
something
think
to do with the projection, like the act,
Yeah,
like
and the angle,
yeah,
the fact that multiple people are be looking at they have to, I don't know, angle it funny or something like that.
Well, and everything that you have at home, like the glasses you wear, are obviously battery powered. So the 3D effect is coming from the glasses, whereas in the theater it's coming from the film. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just don't think it's. I think it's one of those things. Like I said, it'll go away. It'll come back. It'll be amazing when it does come back. But again, what we're seeing right now in its infancy is like these developmental tools that are being made into games, or like you said, Lucky, components of a game, but not a full game.
It's basically
go-
the Wii bowling. It's in the Wii bowling stage.
It's gonna be amazing. Just give it time, though. Now's not the time. It's not VR
Okay,
time.
Justin, imagine this. What is that? Oh, what's the game where you're like a knight on Xbox and you just walk around? I don't know.
Morrowind,
Essence.
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah,
Assassin's-
Elder Scrolls.
Okay.
Just imagine Elder Scrolls, but in VR.
That would be awesome.
And you could swing your sword. You walk around. You could just look around at stuff. That's where they need to go.
I
So
agree.
once they do that,
Because-
I think we're in.
And
And
what
just
is?
think about it, we already have the technology to do that. It's just a matter of putting the tracking in for the game. To
Oh
make it-
yeah, that would
That's-
take a long time.
Like-
Like
No,
tho-
I think they could make that in a year. Like if they just remake games, that's easy because you already have the story.
Well, you could also just do like half and half where you have a controller in your hand and that's how you operate your body. You know, the strafing, the tank controls, and then, you know, aiming and all that is done with your head. They could do it that way, half and half.
Oh,
Basically, the VR headset
I
would
want
take...
a sword in my hand.
Yeah.
An actual sword.
Yeah. Yes, not a controller.
Dude, VR fishing.
Instead of real fishing. Instead of
real
actual fishing.
Instead of planning and getting a license or risk being arrested.
Oh, and that's the other thing too about like graffiti artists and things like that. It's like I have Microsoft Paint. I can just go to town right now. I can be a graffiti artist all day.
Yeah, your tag will look
Paint
just
the town
like
red.
MS Paint.
Challenge accepted, Lucky. I'm gonna graffiti artist you the most.
Justin on it.
Your homework this week is to have like super comic book themed.
I do
paint.
want to see Justin's graffiti art. Now you have to make something with MS Paint now.
I don't know
And
if
a
MS
mouse.
Paint exists.
It
And you have to
doesn't.
post it on Facebook on the Best Friends podcast.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Huh.
Under accessories.
You're gonna regret. Oh, buddy. Yeah.
It's so there.
It
Now
is
you can
there.
change the size and the shape of your paintbrush.
Oh, I know.
And they even have a spray can option in there.
I don't know if there is a spray can anymore. I have a bucket.
Did they take this?
No. I
That's
do.
your fill tool.
I do.
Is it all pixelated or is it smooth?
It's the speckled.
What do you want it to be? Tell me what
Shape.
you want it to be.
It's your tag is what you want it to be. It's not what I can't tell you what your tag is.
Wouldn't it
Justin.
just be my
It's got-
name? Usually?
Sure, but like make it like fancy and gangster.
Of course.
Yeah.
You wait.
Yeah.
Do I have a deadline?
By the
By
next
podcast. Yeah.
Oh, I have a week?
Yes.
Oh,
Hey,
forget about it.
speaking of next podcast, what did you guys learn about Moon Knight?
I knew this was going to come up somehow. I'm
He
like,
has
damn
the
it.
power of Khonshu, which was an Egyptian god.
God. Yeah.
So Moon Knight, he was a mercenary, and then he's rescuing some photographer and in Egypt, and he gets shot. So the people like him, and they put him like at the foot of the temple and like pray for him. So he gets imbued with the power of Khonshu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that.
Which is like a lunar.
Yeah, a lunar
Oh,
god.
right.
So now I don't know, he has kind of like Captain America powers, and then
But only at night, right?
yeah, at night, and
Yeah.
he has like moon-based. I think he gets stronger when the moon's out. I don't know. I could be making
Yeah,
that.
that's what I picked
But,
up. And then they like retconned him somewhere.
yeah.
Like his origin is kind of retconned. and
Well,
confusing.
yeah. So then, like the story I'm reading now is, it's like the most recent trade or whatever of him, and like, so he was on the Avengers at some point, and like, but now like he has like a multiple personality thing, which I don't know if the character still has right now, but like, so he thinks like Captain America and Spider-Man and Wolverine are talking to him. It's kind of like a Beautiful Mind, but then
Yeah, I
and,
saw-
like
the cover is
Fight
like
Club.
he's standing on the shield.
Yeah.
He's got Wolverine's claw in one hand.
So, but like,
yeah.
he thinks one of them, like, he thinks Wolverine's helping him out and clawing people, but then like it's just him doing it and stuff.
Ah, yeah. So and he takes on their fighting styles and stuff.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I don't know
really.
if that's the definitive Moon Knight book to read or what stories there are of him, but like, he's okay, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it after I read about him. I was like, meh. I'm sure they'll do a good job on Netflix though, if
Yeah.
that comes to fruition.
Well, okay, so like in comic books, he's not that cool, but to Netflix, he's very cool because there's Captain America's in the movies. He's not in the Netflix. You know what I mean? No one else has
Yeah.
his in Netflix right now, kind of.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say how stupid you guys are both for
Why?
challenging me to this.
Does it look amazing already?
I'm already doing it, man. It looks so good. Yeah. Let me carve you up a fresh slice of humble pie.
I thought you were gonna ask us if we wanted you to do our names as well.
Next.
No,
Like
this-
you were already done with it.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do one for you guys, but yeah, this is boss.
Well, send us a
can't wait.
screenshot.
Well, I'm working on it
Yeah.
still. Are those some air crisps?
Yes, they are.
Did you guys want to talk about Civil War 2 or no?
Well, it's not out yet, so there's not really much to talk about.
Well,
Oh,
there's
issue
that
0
issue
came out,
0.
and it planted seeds. Seeds have been planted.
Oh, not seeds. If
I mean, I really like the art and the story was interesting. So okay, I remember. So like, I mean, the big thing is what the Terrigen myths create the one dude who's going to be the one that predicts the future or something.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, but they've already planted the seed for the conflict as well between Captain Marvel Captain Marvel. She's worried that they're going to miss something. Like they're the defenders of this, and she's afraid something's going to slip through. So she's kind of you already see that she wants something that's going to be able to give them predictive powers to stop things before it happens. And on the flip coin of that, you have She-Hulk, who just defended the Jester.
Yeah. So that's my question.
Yeah.
Like, I read it a week ago, but it's like, so the main protagonist is going to be her and She-Hulk now? I thought Iron Man was Captain.
Yeah, I think Iron Man will be in there somewhere.
But like right now, the way they set up is that it's She-Hulk.
It looks, right now it looks like She-Hulk versus Captain Marvel. It's kind of silly, I guess, but yeah. So She-Hulk is defending the Jester, and
I'm not complaining. There could be a little cat fight going on with those two.
yeah.
So
and they were drawn very nicely.
Little civil war.
Yeah. Ooh.
This has devolved.
just guys making noises.
I'm graffitiing the hell out of Microsoft Paint right now while
Draw us
Lucky's
the
making.
She-Hulk.
No, I can't draw things at all. Like, it's impressive. I'm doing a pretty bang up job of. Like, I've never graffitied anything, so this is fucking impressive.
Are you just saying that for legal reasons?
Yeah, because when you see it,
He's
it looks.
just attacking all of Cleveland with bad.
It looks totally amazing, and you guys are like, this guy's got to be like a professional tag artist.
Yeah. It turns out you're Banksy.
Cut to Justin with a black goatee, just tagging stuff. That's evil, Justin.
He graffitis something and goes, "Hail Hydra."
He's got a goatee.
That was good. Way to bring.
So yeah.
So now that you brought it full circle,
Wow.
Yeah.
with that hotness,
Not Superman.
hot gay bear Superman.
Gay man, an attractive gay man.
So one more thing. I don't know what your opinion is. I just think it's funny. So like, so before everyone found out that Captain America was Hydra, the big comic news story was that so LGBT people have been posting on social media. What is it like? Make Captain America gay.
God.
Now, before I ask you anything of this, so like this happens for every popular character. So like they did the same thing for Frozen. They wanted Frozen to be gay.
Who's Frozen?
The Disney
Elsa,
movie.
the Disney movie.
Oh.
Yeah, but Dad, he knows.
No, I've seen Frozen. I just didn't know that was a thing.
Wanted her to be gay, and then also remember Star Wars. They wanted Poe Dameron and Finn to be gay.
Finn to be gay, yeah.
Right.
So basically, anything you like, something that's popular, they're gonna that hashtag make them gay is gonna come out. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Which
guess
again,
so. Like,
God,
whatever.
This is such social commentary, which you didn't think you'd get into when you tuned into the Best Friends podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But the reality, no. But I think I'm just saying this is something we talked about with like the Ghostbusters being all female, and is that done because there was a cool story, or is it done just because we're modernizing something and just doing it? And that's what I got an issue with. Any of those things. I got an issue of if you want to tell a story about a gay couple, you obligatory have to make somebody straight. I have an issue with that too. Like, I don't think that makes sense. So,
like if they went back and remade Brokeback Mountain, but
with
like
a guy and a girl.
Yeah,
it's a guy and a girl.
Yeah, I'm not good with that. Oh my god.
Yeah, leave the stories what they are. I mean, we gave them Iceman. That's Bobby Drake. He was one of the original X-Men. Like they retconned his ass, and
he was born gay.
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry, I take it back. But yeah, it's just like make the gay characters gay, and then like, leave the straight ones whatever. I don't know. Unless
how do you explain him? How do you explain him kissing on Sharon Carter? He's gay.
You could like make a gay Captain America. Well,
I guess you can if you can make a Hydra one. You can do
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you want. Apparently,
Just it would be like Gary Rogers. I don't know. It's not even
Gary Ross.
Ace Rogers.
like 1,000 Garys. Like, hey, wait a sec. My name's Gary.
Ace Rogers and Gary
Anthony
Wilson.
Rogers. I don't know. Like that. I mean, they have gay superheroes. Like, whatever, it's fine. But like,
Speaking of which,
you don't get what you want. Just like, well, just make him.
what it is
make him the gay one. Just like, okay,
they want to see him. They want to see him kissing on Sebastian, whatever his name is.
Stan.
Stan. Yeah, they just want to see those two guys kiss.
Hey,
That's
sidebar.
exactly what it is.
Did you guys see the Sebastian Stan, Mark Hamill comparison?
Oh, I did see that. That was nuts.
Yeah. Sebastian Stan and Mark Hamill are twins 30 years apart.
Yeah,
They have the
It's
same
eerie.
face.
It's eerie.
So weird. Yeah.
Sebastian
see those
Stan
guys
is
kiss.
actually in the Darth Vader face in Empire Strikes Back, and that's how they.
Yeah.
Dude, I just want to say that this looks boss.
We'll be the judge of
Talking
that.
about your tag.
Yeah, dude. You guys are going to look so
I feel like you
stupid.
read it so matter of fact. Like, yeah, dude.
Yeah. It's awesome. And everybody listening to this podcast is going to be like, what the fuck am I listening to? All right, so I think we've
Yeah.
done it. And this is about to be on Facebook, so you're going to check this shit out.
All right.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I want to give a shout out real quick. Zach, our buddy, longtime friend and listener of the show,
Friend
is
of the show.
a new dad. He's a new dad.
Oh,
yeah, that's
hey.
right. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Do we have a name
Zach.
of the baby?
I don't know it. I don't even know the sex, actually.
Kylo
But
Ren.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
like, did is it like Kal-El?
It's got to be something cool. It's Zach's kid, so it's
Darth
probably a
Zach.
fucking sweet name.
Man.
He's got a best friend
Stella
named
Grace.
Thor.
Stella
Zachamus
Grace.
Prime.
Oh, is it Stella Grace?
Stella Grace, the daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, congratulations.
That is a cool name. Congratulations,
Yeah.
Zach.
All right. Any other shout outs or stuff? It's like a 4-hour podcast.
Oh, is anyone
I'll
going to see
give one to
X-Men?
Chris. Fuck it. Hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris Crump. Is anyone going to see X-Men Apocalypse? Is it still just me?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's still just you.
Maybe if I'm hungover and someone drags me to it, maybe I'll go check it out. Let's see.
Oh, maybe
I'm
rent
driving
it.
straight to Buffalo to take Lucky to it.
Oh, I would if you wanted if you were gonna go see it, I would go see it with you. But like, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna
Oh, wait.
venture out, make a special effort to go see this. But
I'll wait
if
until
it occurs,
FX plays it.
I'll go see it.
I'll wait until FX plays it 3 times a day.
FX. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they playing the X-Men now just to lead up to it? Or they have like an X-Men marathon?
They
Probably. They've
are.
just-
Yeah.
They're probably showing Iron Man 3 again, actually.
Oh, well, that I can agree with. That's a good movie. That's a decent movie. It's not the best Iron Man, but it's a
Yeah.
It's an
a
Iron
pretty good.
You
pretty good
guys,
Iron Man.
you guys should check out Facebook and our page right now
All right.
because you're gonna
I'll
look
take a
real foolish.
I'll
take a peek ski.
Remember
I'm
when
on
it was
8%.
off Facebook?
You guys, I know you guys are gonna just blast
Wow.
the shit out of me.
Oh, shit. I've got a lot of.
How good is
better.
that?
It's better than I thought it would be.
Yes.
Let me see.
It doesn't look like a tag though.
My
Well, I
phone
know
how
doesn't.
much street art
Oh,
look.
I tried, damn
that's
it.
your. It's definitely your name.
You know what? He purposely made it look bad so we wouldn't know his real art tag for
Suck
legal.
it, Ben and
That's
Lucky.
right.
They're overlapping. That's kind of. Well, the
It
one
looks
part
more like calligraphy than
Is. Yeah,
spray
that's
paint.
pretty impressive, actually. Did
Yeah.
you use a calligraphy? You did use a calligraphy thing, didn't you?
No.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, I did.
You son of a.
Did somebody like that already?
Yep, Aileen did. Friend of the
Oh.
show.
Man.
Friend of the show, Aileen.
I'll go ahead and like it.
Thanks
You
for
know
liking
what?
my name.
I
Ben
bet
likes
she's a nice girl, but she has terrible taste.
it. She just likes a good art style when she sees one. So, not to boast, but just saying. All right, well, that does it for this week. Go read comics because there's some good shit out there. Go read Rebirth.
Yeah.
It'll make
Join
you cry.
Comixology Unlimited.
I think
Start reading comics.
Store.
I think, like Ben, you're no I'm not. This is not a dig on you, but you're no DC expert. But I think that you could go in like with not a whole lot of DC knowledge. You could probably read like if you were a total non-comic book reader, could you read Rebirth and like it?
That's hard because a lot of the Flashpoint things going on with Wally could have been confusing had I not seen Flashpoint, the movie, the cartoon, and the ending. If I wasn't a Watchmen fan, I wouldn't have been as psyched about it, and I wouldn't have known what the hell the human bean juice pin was. So the writing and the storytelling, the pace was. I mean, it was a little slower, but it was also really quick.
Yeah, so all the big payoffs and things like that might not make all the sense in the world to you, but I think the Wally West
there
storyline-
was still. I think being a human, you can still feel it.
Yeah,
there was a lot of good human qualities in it.
It's really good art and writing, but like you'll definitely like it better if you're a DC fan. But like
but it's also a good
you can
jumping
get
in
into
point.
it. But yeah, it's with Wikipedia and this, you're fine. But you're gonna definitely like it more if you read comics. But like the art, it's one of the better looking books out there and stuff. Plus $2.99, 80 pages. Why wouldn't you buy it? And if you don't like it, you can mail it back to Jeff Johns. This is like a win-win situation.
Where did he say that? I just want to know.
You didn't see that? It's like all over social media. It's probably on his Twitter. He's like, if you mail it to me, I will pay for what you had to pay to mail it and for the issue.
Also,
I'll send you a check back.
Also,
I'm just making this up. I'm just fucking him.
The 30 people that listen to our podcast are going to mail it back to him. Hey, speaking of, I should have done this at the top of the show, but whatever. Now's as good a time as any. Okay. Our podcast has been played well over 1,000 times now.
Hey, cool,
nice.
That's more than zero.
Smart. That is more than zero, which is what I thought we were going to get.
That.
You see how many YouTube?
We were at least going to get 3.
YouTube, I think, again, we only put up one episode. Well, we got 2 episodes up, but more specifically, like last week's episode was probably more like a real episode. And 55 on last week's episode. That's good.
I got a lot of good feedback from the YouTube, the picture show.
Yeah.
I got a lot of good feedback from that.
I think it's going to be hard to do that for the Rebirth conversation and the Captain America 1 conversation. There's only so many pictures that are online without it just being a comic book.
Use the vape meme I made.
Take snapshots out of it. But
oh, that's true. Yeah, Comixology. I can send you some Comixology panels.
There you go. Teamwork.
Another cool thing real quick about Rebirth is the gatefold cover. Like, to open it up and see that giant image. It's awesome.
Wait, yours is
is it?
Mine's not gatefold.
Well, okay, sorry. It's not a gatefold. It's just open it up.
It's your terminology better, man.
Look, I'm not an art major. You tell me.
You got them all excited.
It's a comic. It's not an art major. It's a comic. It's a splash page. Or,
it's not a splash page.
Oh,
though.
you better get it right after that.
Yeah, Lucky.
You better get it right, Lucky.
What is it then? What do you call it? 2-page?
Yeah, it's like you open it up.
It's definitely not gatefold. Gatefold.
It's like a reverse. It's a reverse splash.
Centerfold.
Like
reverse
flash.
Okay.
There, yeah.
Ah, damn it.
Makes it a good pun. You have to explain it.
All right. Whatever. All right. For the Best Friends podcast, this is Justin signing off.
Oh.
I don't know.
Just Lucky signing off too, and Excelsior.
I'm also signing off.
I don't know.
You know what I wish I said instead of Excelsior? Can we retcon it? And can I just go back and edit all of them? Can I say enough said? Because that sounds better at the end.
Enough said. I think
It's
so too.
also a Stan Lee quote.
Go ahead.
Let's pretend it's enough said. Yeah.
I'll say
I like that.
too much said.
Oh. Yeah. We'll probably
What
check.
I'll say, what else, Seor?
We went on an adventure today.
What did we remember on The Simpsons? They used to be like, "What did we learn from today? What did we learn from this episode?"
That would be a good recap section at the end.
Okay, so let's do that real quick. Because there's a radio show I listen to, a local sports talk thing in Cleveland, and they recap the show by saying, "Why am I smarter today?" And
Are we smart?
no, we're not.
Are we smarter?
Smarter.
So what did I learn from today's podcast? I learned that Captain America is a Hydra member, which we don't know if that's good or bad.
And people want him to kiss Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm smarter today because I'm going to check out Comixology Unlimited. I'm going to see what that's about. I'm going to read some books.
Yeah.
And we learned that Watchmen is in the DC world.
Ooh,
big announcement.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm
All right.
smarter for that.
So we'll be watching The Watchmen.
Ooh.
That answers that question.
Thanks for tuning into the Best Friends podcast.
Thanks, everybody.
No, enough said.
Yeah, enough said. Enough.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Best Friends podcast. If you enjoyed what you heard on today's show, check us out on the web at tbfcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at tbfcast and like us on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/the Best Friends podcast.